All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Speed Racing Network, where we present the Cup Series. This is week number 10. We are on our way to the playoffs. We are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Hotlanta 200. I am here with Greg Olenik. My name is Sean Griffin. Greg, how's it going tonight?
It's going good, Sean. I'm happy to have you back in the booth with me. It's been a little while. You've been working behind the scenes as a producer, as you saw on our opening credits, but you're back in the booth taking the lead tonight, and I'm happy to have you here, buddy, for these 130 laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Man, it is good to be back. I enjoy doing the entire broadcast, but doing the producer role and everything, just hearing you and Byron really go after it here in the Cup Series. Y'all have done a fantastic job, and Byron just couldn't be here tonight, so glad to be back with you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, our success comes from the success that we see out on the track, and this Cup Series has been really good lately. A really good race that we saw last week at Phoenix, so they make the job easy for us, and I have to imagine that we're going to see a lot of the same again tonight. The previous two series this week only saw 5 cautions total between the trucks and Xfinity series, so I have to imagine Cup guys are going to bring it tonight as well.
Yeah, it should be a really, really good race tonight. Lots of room out there on the track, and really not that many drivers comparatively to other weeks. So usually we have 39 to 40 drivers. I think this week Jason Tripp told us that we're only going to have about 34. So nice open areas out there.
Yeah, a lot of room to run on this track. You got high line, the middle line, and the low line. So you're not going to have everybody fighting for that low line where the passing line usually is. You can pass pretty much anywhere on the track, which does promote green flag racing since you're going to have a lot of room out there.
Yes, you are. Now, in this league, we are in week 10. We cut off the playoffs at week 13. So we cut down to the top 15 drivers. So we are definitely in crunch time right now, Greg.
Oh my gosh, it's coming quicker than you can imagine. If you're outside the cut line, it's coming even faster for you guys. I can speak on that behalf for where I'm at in the Xfinity Series. You're just grinding and grinding and grinding each week, trying to chip away at the margin that you have, and one bad race can really end your push towards the playoffs.
Sure can. Now, we do run fixed setups here, so everybody has equal cars out there on the track. It is simply who's the best driver, not who has the best equipment. But there are no fast repairs in this league, and that is going to be crucial tonight because there are no fast repairs, and we're expecting a lot of green flag laps. If you get any damage at all, you're in some serious trouble tonight.
Yeah, we saw a lot of hard racing in this Cup Series to begin the season, and a lot of people's days got ruined early on with that no fast repairs clause you see there at the top. But now I think people are starting to realize how important it is to save your car and make it to the end just to have a shot and collect as many points as you can each week. So, I mean, as we're at week 10, so I mean we have a solid group of guys that have been running with us all season, and they know the deal by now.
They sure do. Now, they pay $15 a week to get into the race. We do have weekly payouts as well as season-long payouts, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But look at that big old number right there, $1,000 for the first place winner in this Cup Series.
And that would sure look nice in my bank account, and I can imagine it would look nice in just about anybody's bank account. Just to come out here and have fun with your buddies. We're all buddies in a big family here at Speed Racing Network. And just to get that $1,000 first place prize plus bragging rights, going into the next season and being able to be claiming yourself as the defending champion, it keeps piling on. And that's one of the great things that Speed Racing Network offers to its drivers is great prizes weekly and seasonally.
Yeah, and one of the more unique things about Speed Racing Network is that we also have team driving as well. So we do have 5-person teams that are allowed, and we'll introduce you to all those teams here a little bit later on in this pre-show. But that team championship out there is worth a nice, cool $300.
Yeah, you'll see that on the next slide, or a couple slides from now. We'll talk about that. But yeah, we have a team championship, and it just offers another incentive for those drivers that aren't necessarily the fastest week in and week out. It gives you the opportunity to work as a team and build as a team, and those team points add up. And we're starting to see a battle towards the top of the team standings in this Cup Series, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on in this pre-show. But let's go ahead and jump to the race payouts we see right here. What these guys are racing for tonight. We talked about what they're racing for on the season, that $1,000 prize going to the winner there. But each week, these guys are racing for $75 if they end up in Victory Circle. And second place is coming away with $45, and that's not a bad chunk of change either, Sean.
No, and a lot of times these guys use these payouts to pay for their remaining races in the season. And so, man, you win that first place prize. That is 5 races here in the Cup Series. And so, I mean, that's a quarter of your season right there. Not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal at all. And a lot of these guys have sponsors too that pay their weekly fees. And, so sometimes you might get to pocket this change. But yeah, you could pay your season off really quick if you just win one race. But third place is going to come away with $30 tonight. Fourth place is going to come away with $20. And if you just finish in 5th through 7th, you're going to get that money back that you paid to enter today's race.
Yep, and we're going to go on to the season-long payouts now. So we talked about what we're getting this week, but look at this big chunk of money out here. So first place, $1,000. Second place, $600. Third place, $350. Fourth place, $225. Fifth place, $150. And that all-important team championship, $300, and you could win first place and the team championship, Greg.
Yeah, you're looking at around $2,500 in prize money right here on this slide alone. That's insane. I mean, again, I know people like to call this a sim, but realistically, it's kind of a game to a lot of us. So we're out here playing a game for big money. So out on the track, you don't treat it like a game. This is very serious, and that's the one thing I love about this Cup Series is they have a lot to race for, and that's going to really bring out the best in the talent that we have on track.
Oh, there's a ton of talent out there, and there's a ton of clean drivers out there. And so we decided we're going to award those clean drivers with a Clean Driver Award. And that is brought to you by Butt Kicker, who is donating a butt kicker to the cleanest driver of the series.
Yeah, just another awesome incentive that Speed Racing Network presents to its drivers. Like I said, they're giving a lot of these guys a lot of things to race for, whether they're winning each week or not. You're in contention for one of these prizes, and that's just one of the great things that they have going in this series. So, go check out Butt Kicker online and use that code you see at the bottom there, SRN VS20 for 20% off your order. These things range around $180 to $200, so you're looking at like around $30 to $40 off an order potentially if you use that code. So go check them out, and you can never have too many butt kickers on your sim rig, from what I hear.
Yeah, use that discount code SRNVS20. You get 20% off of that order. And, I mean, that could be, just like Greg was saying, you could hook up 4 or even 6 of these things to your seat, and that will help you feel the actual car while you're driving. Now, I'll tell you, it makes a little bit of noise. So if you're upstairs and you've got somebody downstairs and you're running 6 of these things, those people are not going to be happy with you. But it is worth every single penny. So take a look at Butt Kicker and get you those Butt Kicker devices.
Yeah, now we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the Kane Cook sim coaching that we like to talk about week in and week out, because it's really just a great program that SRN has put together, working in participation with Kane Cook involved. It's really something great that is bringing a lot of the talent out of a lot of the drivers that we have on track. They go to Kane each week, asking for help, and you book a session with him. And I've seen Joe Ruckles a couple times has put himself on the pole in the truck series, so it's clearly showing up for him, and it's worked for a lot of guys.
Yeah, Kane is one of those drivers that up there at the highest level of iRacing, and the story that we've told a few times is he actually has 2 different iRacing accounts. Both of them are in the 7,000 iRating range, which 7,000 iRating, to put that into perspective, our highest limit here is 3,000 in this Cup Series.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry,
absolutely
4,000. I apologize, 4,000 in this Cup Series.
Yeah, regardless, it's nowhere close of where he's at. 7,000 iRating for 2 different accounts is absolutely insane. You see it there. He's known for being a hard charger, so he starts in the back and moves his way up. So the man likes passing cars, and he knows how to do it. So, like I said, if you ever need any assistance or training, go to speedracingnetwork.com. It's right on the homepage. You just scroll down a little bit, and boom, there's a nice big ad for it, and you just click it, and he's got a bunch of time slots. You can do an hour, one-on-one, 2 hours, any amount of time, however much you need. He's a great guy. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, and if you want to take a look and see how he does against the best drivers in all of iRacing, then take a look at what he does on Tuesday nights in the Coca-Cola Series. So tune into that and cheer on Kane Cook. But let's talk about our individual standings, and we are down to the wire now where we've only got 4 races left, including this one. So these standings are including cut weeks, which each driver is allowed 3 bad weeks, basically. So we take your 10 best weeks, and that's what your points are based off of. And Jake Rowell, with 3 wins on the season, is out front.
Yeah, these are the standings that we as drivers have been paying attention to behind the scenes the whole year. Now you're seeing them for yourselves. And Jake Rowell out to a good 10-point lead over Holzer, who we've seen, who was the leader for the majority of the season in the individual standings. Yet to get a win, but a lot of good finishes. The first, though, outside the top 10 last week at Phoenix, coming home in 19th. So he's going to be looking to bounce back this week.
Oh, definitely. And if you go down this list, there are some serious drivers on here. And I'll make mention of Jake. Obviously, he is tied for the most winning driver in Speed Racing Network history with 6 wins. And you have Dean Brummett down there in 4th. He's got 4 wins in Speed Racing Network history, so that makes him 3rd place on the list. Timothy Latham's got a couple wins this season. Man, I mean, just looking down this list. And let me point something out here to you, Greg. So take a look at your team names down there. Look at Rowell Smith Racing. All 5 of their drivers are currently slotted in the playoffs.
That's just crazy. These guys have been running great the last couple of weeks. We spoke to Scott Healy after his top 3 last week. You know, Shane Good is constantly running towards the top 10 or within the top 10, and Dean Brummett, or Jacob Smith also constantly in the top 10. And Jake's just been bringing home wins this season, so that's why he's up at the top. But go ahead and point out for me, Sean, Team SRN as well. They got 3 guys in the top 15, which is, you know, a good feat in itself.
Yeah, definitely. And then take a look at Filthy 5 Motorsports as well with their addition of Gabriel Ellison last week to their team. They have 3 guys slotted into the playoffs currently also. But if you look at that cut line down there, 164 points, take a look at these guys that are chasing them. And Landon Lacey from Filthy 5 Motorsports is only 1 point out.
Yeah, he's going to – I think he's going to bounce somebody out of the below the cut this week. You know, Landon's been running really good since he's joined the league. Damian Leiniger is just 1 finish. He's just had a lot of trouble. He's 1 finish from getting back inside the cut. This is such a tight race right now. It's so crazy to see all the way down to 23rd. You're within 32 points of making that cut. So any of these guys can do it. They just really got to put together a finish and build those points. We got 4 weeks left, sorry. And, you know, time is running out, even though that seems like a long time.
Yeah, now the team championship also still in doubt, but we got Rowell Smith Racing on the back of Jake Rowell's 3 wins out there in first. And of course, this is brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better. And our Tropical Smoothie Team Championship, Rowell Smith Racing with those 3 wins out front, but Filthy 5 Motorsports has 4 wins on the season, and they're not too far out of it.
Yeah, just to speak on Tropical Smoothie Cafe, I agree with you about the Beach Bum. That thing is delicious. The strawberry, banana, and chocolate. Go check them out. They got a bunch of great products, food, wraps, quesadillas. It's a great store. We appreciate them being on. But you're exactly right. Rowell Smith and Filthy 5, it's getting narrow, even though, I mean, these guys have been the class of the field. Team SRN is still in it as well.
Yeah, they're right there in it. And, you know, Rev Racing, they want to put on a good show here as well. They're only a couple hundred points out. But, again, this goes for 20 weeks. This goes for the entire season, including the playoffs. So they still have time to get back in this. But you'll notice a brand new name there at the bottom of the list. Tank Racing has finally put together a 4-person team. And we'll introduce you to those new drivers here just in a moment. But let's get into our team introductions, brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And we'll start off with our league leaders, Rowell Smith Racing.
Yeah, you're going to see Jake Rowell off the top of this list with the 3 wins next to his name. So he is on fire, as you can see surrounding that logo. This team has been on fire in general. But any of these guys can win on any given week. You know, Jacob Smith, we've seen him running up towards the front in a lot of races this year. Shane Good, also one of those we see running up towards the front. And you mentioned Dean Brummett, 4 wins in SRN. And Scott Healy, we talked to him last week. He finished in the top 3. And from what I've seen, he's pretty fast tonight. So these guys are going to be bringing it.
Definitely. Now, Filthy 5 Motorsports, they're rated F for just plain filthy. They don't take any prisoners at all, but here they are. And they've been doing a little bit of adjusting to their lineup in the past few weeks. And I think they finally got the 5 drivers that can take them to where they need to be.
Yeah, they added Gabriel Ellison down there in that 27 machine last week, and he has been constantly in the top 10 in the standings. So a great driver to add there. But you see Timothy Latham, and we talked about Landon Lacey, 2 wins each on the season. We expect to see Landon move inside that cut this week. Kyle Spees, another one with a great finish last week. He's been running really well the last 2 weeks. And Brandon Browning, he's a veteran of the series, so he can definitely get it done at any week as well.
Yeah, interesting fact about Brandon Browning, won the first ever race in Speed Racing Network back when we were Mid-South Madness. And so he has not seen victory lane since then. We need to get him back there in that victory lane because that interview would be insane, Greg.
Yeah, it just goes to show how tough the league really is to get a win. But let's go ahead and check out our third place team here, Team SRN. Another team that is still very much in the race for the team standings, and we haven't seen Bobby Bro the last couple of weeks, so we'll have to see if he's here this week in that 3 car. Danny Setzer in that 17. Scott Kalal, another one we see running in the top 10 a lot in that 23 machine. And we talked about James Holzer, his first race outside the top 10 last week at Phoenix in that 42 machine, looking to bounce back. And the 91 of Ted Rekich, also finding a little bit of trouble in a lot of the races lately. So this team could definitely make a charge towards the front. They just got to put the finishes together.
Yes, they do. Now, Rev Racing, this is one of those tracks that I think sets up perfectly for Rev Racing and their style of racing. They're the ones that they save tires. They have a lot of good pit strategy. They work on this stuff all week long, so they know what to do in these scenarios. And, I mean, they've got 4 great drivers to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Rev Racing myself, so I work with Adam Pettit a lot. He really trains us well with the tire-saving abilities. But, I mean, each one of these guys has the speed to boot as well. So, I mean, if a short run happens, they can definitely get it done. But these are the long-run guys in the sport.
Next up, we got Bronco Motorsports, and they have been kind of up and down this season as far as in the Cup Series, but they've got some great drivers here. Chris Massey is a phenomenal driver, just hasn't had the finishes he's looking for. Austin Reedy also has been up there towards the top. They've got a couple of kind of newer drivers down there. Ryan Steenbacher's is kind of new this season to Speed Racing Network, so got a little bit of stuff to work on there, but at the same time, I mean, don't ever look past them because they could just drive right past you.
Yeah, excited to see if the 83 machine can get the monkey off his back. I want to see him in the top 10. You know, I know he can do it. It just goes to show, really, like I said, how tough this series is. It's not a given any week, but I also am excited to see if the 86 and 89 can step up in the top 10 as well. Bronco can definitely get it done. So, I mean, we still got 10 weeks on the season, and this is a team that can get it done.
Next up, we got R&D Motorsports, and out there in the chat, Corey Saucier is saying that R&D is going for the bounce back tonight, and they're going to need a little bit of a bounce back. They've got to get up these driver standings, but Thomas Rutherford in the 4. Justin Boyle's not here tonight because he is off watching an actual race. Jordan Saylor, same thing. He's with Justin Boyles, actually. And then David Duke and Mitch Rollo. Mitch with the win earlier this season, and he's kind of had a couple of down weeks, but he's still in that playoff picture.
Yeah, definitely showing top 5 speed. I'm showing him 4th on the standings right now. David Duke, you saw him in the top 3 a couple weeks ago. I mean, these guys are starting to get that momentum going. So Corey Saucier might be onto something here. If they could put the finishes together with whether they're missing those 2 guys, they can still have a good night with the team points.
Yeah, I'll tell you, David Duke ran in a full-length race here at Atlanta the other night, and I believe he took 6th in that race. And so, believe me, he's got the lap count, so he's got the practice in. But H2K Motorsports is next. Hard to kill is why they call him that, led by Joseph DuPont, who does have a couple wins in Speed Racing Network history, but Greg Wellen is the one that's actually up there in the playoffs right now.
Greg Wellen definitely knocking on the door, getting that first win this season. He might be able to get it done in these next couple of weeks. I expect to see him up there tonight at some point. He's definitely had a good season so far. So H2K has a good little team here. Not really in it for the team standings because of that 3-man team, but a good team nonetheless.
Now, finally, we do have the brand new team. Now, it's actually a team that we've had in other series, but they've got a Cup Series team now. It's Tank Racing, and Joshua Balliet has been racing with us for the past few weeks anyway under the Tank Racing banner, but now he's got a team around him. They've added Seth Berger, Max Service, and Joseph Causey. And I got to tell you, Greg, Max Service, best name in all of iRacing.
Yeah, we agree on that. That is the coolest name, and it's perfect for this team. I'm excited to see Tank Racing actually put a team together in the Cup Series now, and I expect these guys to be running really good. This is a good team, and I agree with you though. Again, that is the coolest name by far.
Now, we do have some independent drivers out there. Most of these are from, actually all of these are from the Xfinity Series moving up this week just to have some fun. So Zach Taylor out there, he's one of the top 5 drivers in the Xfinity Series. Ryan Ducombe, another top 5 driver there. Jovi Sagiped, I believe he's a top 10 driver, and Joshua Siegfried also in that top half of the field as well. So, 4 really good drivers deciding to step up this week.
Yeah, and we're going to see another really good driver, the winner from Thursday, Daniel Bowdler in that 6 machine. Not sure if that's the number he's riding in tonight, but nonetheless, this guy dominated on Thursday. He led just about every lap, and he almost lapped me, but he didn't, thank God. So he had a really good race on Thursday, and I expect him to be up front again tonight.
Yeah, well, don't look now. He is actually slotted in the second position already. So Timothy Latham from Filthy 5 Motorsports, 2 wins on the season already. He is on our pole tonight. Daniel Bowdler with that dominating win this past week. It was the most dominant win on an oval track in Speed Racing Network history. So did a great job on that. He's up in second as the Xfinity Series winner. James Holzer for Team SRN in third. Gabriel Ellison for Filthy 5 Motorsports in fourth.
Just look how close these times are, from the leader. The top 4 is within 9 thousandths of the qualifying time that Timothy Latham put down. Kyle Speed's not far off there in 5th, 13 thousandths off. And Scott Healy, one of those Royal Smith cars we mentioned, starting 6th in that 64 machine. Ted Rekich in the 91 starting 7th. And Jake Rowell, our season leader in the points, starting 8th tonight.
Yeah, Austin Reedy from Bronco Motorsports up in 9th. Jacob Smith from Royal Smith Racing in 10th. Damian Leiniger from Rev Racing in 11th. And finally, Filthy 5 Motorsports, Landon Lacey in 12th. And so that makes 4 of the Filthy 5 in the top 12.
Yeah, I mean, Roel Smith got 3 of them in there as well. This is the battle we talked about last week. These guys were dominating the top 10. And I imagine we're going to see a lot of the same from what it looks like tonight as we see the cars starting to grid up behind the pace car. We've been doing this a lot of the last couple of weeks with me and Byron. So, Sean, who are you taking tonight?
Oh, man, it's a tough week. It's going to be a fun week. Hopefully a lot of green flag racing out there. I'm going to go somebody that's probably not a huge surprise, but also doesn't have a win yet on the season. I'm going to go with Gabriel Ellison from Filthy 5 Motorsports.
I like that pick. For a second, I was really worried that you were going to take my pick because of the way you were setting it up. But I'm going to also take someone that has not gotten a win on the season, and he looked really fast on the charts. I'm going to take that 64 machine back there, starting 6th, Scott Healy for Royal Smith Racing. I know they've been working a lot with him, and he's been soaking up all the info that he's working on with Jake Rowell and Dean Brummett and Jacob Smith. So he has no reason to not win tonight with those guys on his team.
Well, for everybody out there in the chat right now, get ready because this is going to be a great race. Cannot wait. I've been waiting all week to see this race here tonight.
Yeah, we had a great race today in the Cup Series at actual Atlanta, so I expect to see another great one tonight from these guys. They had a really good run at Phoenix last week, so they're starting to really gel as a series, but we're getting ready to go to green, Sean.
Here we go. Pace car dives off. Timothy Latham takes off, and he is going to lead the way as we get it started here at the Hotlanta 200.
He's in control of the start, so they get a nice little jump each time, but Daniel Bowdler is going to try to hang on that outside line. If Holzer is going to clear him, though, so he might fall back a little bit here in that 6 machine as Gabriel Ellison clears him as well.
No, that's okay. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a lot of time to get there, but looking at Gabriel Ellison here, he is going to go down to the inside trying to take that 5th position away from Daniel Bowdler.
Yeah, he is. And to speak on Bowdler again, he had a bunch of green flag laps in the Xfinity race on Thursday, so I expect him to know exactly what he wants to do tonight. And he's probably not going to push it too hard to start, but it's looking like he's giving Gabriel a little run, not wanting to lose too much track position to start.
Yeah, 3 of the top 4 are Filthy 5 Motorsports right now. So actually 3 of the top 5 now as Gabriel Ellison drops back to 5th. But man, what a great run already from Filthy 5. Oh no, Landon Lacey.
Oh man, we jinxed him.
Oh, he's hurt on the track right now. He's going to get it going again, but no yellow. We're still green, but he is definitely going to have to get some of that damage fixed.
Yeah, we're going to see that quite a bit tonight. It's not a glitch with iRacing, but iRacing won't throw a caution unless they are on the racing surface itself. But a lot of cars spin out on the exit of 2 right here and will spin down on that little apron, and it won't register a caution for iRacing. So Landon Lacey is going to lose a lot of time. I think he's going to stay out there with the minimal damage that he has, but man, he has struggled a little bit the last couple of races. He really had a bad week at Phoenix, and it's not starting off too well at Atlanta.
Yeah, while we have a brief moment here, let's go to a rec replay, see if we can find out what happened to Landon Lacey, see if he had some help.
Yeah, it's going to be brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Check him out on Shopify. Ben 10 Holder, he runs a great company. You can get die-cast or any kind of memorabilia that you might be looking for. But yeah, he's just going to get loose, and he's going to try and save it, and he's going to try and also keep off of Dean Brummett and Mitch Rollo, and he's just going to have to send it down. Yeah, that is a bigger hit than I had originally thought he had, and he's going to have to get that fixed for sure, or he's going to be having some engine trouble and possibly have an engine expired.
Yeah, I think he's just hoping for a caution right now so we can have some time to work on that car. But as we get back to live racing, let's go to Mitch Rollo here as he's on the outside of Damian Leiniger, trying to take away that 11th position.
Yeah, we're going to get pretty racy back here. We see a lot of big names. You see Dean Brummett and Jacob Smith just in front of them, and Ted Rekich, and I'm trying to see which Bronco car that is behind them. But all these guys are great racers. 86 and Tristan Bailey back there too. So yeah, some good racing going on right here as we see a battle for 10th.
Yep, now we're headed right back up front as Daniel Ballard takes the 3rd position away, and Kyle Spees has a lot of guys on his tail, including his own teammate Gabriel Ellison.
Yeah, Scott Healy and Jake Rowell from Royal Smith Racing is going to be battling Filthy 5 Motorsports on the outside here, trying to move up and keep that team standings lead.
It looks like Scott Healy going to get to the inside of Kyle Spees.
Saw Jake move up to the high line there. That must be the we didn't really run the high line as much as I thought we would in the Xfinity Series, but I'm imagining these Cup cars are liking it a little more up there. They're running a lot higher than we were.
Yeah, but then he drops right back down to the low line, right behind his own teammate there. So I think the teammates are going to play in. Oh, I hear somebody wrecking. I'm not sure who that is. I heard somebody get into a wall, but
I'm not seeing anybody on my track map. I just see them catching Landon Lacey on this backstretch really quick. We're going to see the leaders come up to him right now. He's going to probably be on the inside right there. Yep.
Yeah,
Landon Lacey. Yeah.
I wonder if he lost his engine.
He could have, Sean, or he might just be. Yeah, he's going really slow. They might have to throw a caution if he can't get back. He's going to have to get a tow.
Yeah, he dipped down to the inside. That's a really classy move by him. He could have brought out a caution there, but instead dipped all the way down to the inside and took a tow back to the pits.
Yeah, so those guys that we mentioned that were on the cut line going into this week are going to have to take note of that and really push to get as many points as they can.
Oh, Tristan Bailey.
Tristan Bailey around. Oh, yeah, and that's in that spot where we might not see a caution, Sean.
Yeah, but he's going to get right back out there again. So we'll keep it going here for a little while longer, and if we don't get a caution, we'll try to jump back out. But there is a battle for the league brewing here between Timothy Latham and James Holson.
Yeah, I said it in the pre-show. We saw him finish outside the top 10 for the first time all season in that 42 car. He had a really good run on Thursday in the Xfinity Series when he dropped down, so he definitely knows what he's doing tonight in this Cup car, and he's going to be making a push to get past on the inside if he can clear Timothy Latham right here.
Yeah, and out there in the chat, Michael E. York saying Bain for the dark horse. Well, Bain right now back in 31st position as we're watching this battle for the lead. So that would definitely be a good dark horse pick. He's just got to get some positions going here.
Yeah, just to touch on it real quick. Bain.
Oh, we got something going on.
Yeah. Oh, is it Dean
That's
Brummett?
Dean Brummett.
He's going to try and keep it off the wall as much as he can. Minimal damage, but again, like I keep saying, this is where iRacing won't register a caution because it's not on the racing surface. It's not it's not putting the drivers at risk of hitting him, so they're going to keep it green. And man, a lot of these guys that we see running up towards the front, Landon Lacey, Dean Brummett, are finding themselves in trouble early on.
Well, Landon Lacey really didn't have any margin for error there as far as the point standings are concerned. Dean Brummett has a little bit of room for error there, but man, you never ever want to see a bad race like that because you can just drop down those standings so fast.
Yeah, and we saw it on Thursday in the Xfinity Series race where we had about a 90-lap green flag run from our first and only caution. So these guys could possibly be put down early and not have a shot to get back. You know, a lot of the times you have a caution where you can repair your car and get it back to maybe where you wanted it, but they might not have that option tonight. Like we said, a lot of grooves out here on the track, so a wide open track. Ooh, Holzer getting a little bit into the wall there, running really high in 3 and 4.
Yeah, and now this is going to cause another battle for the lead here between him and Timothy Latham. It looks like Latham's going to get down to the inside. Let's see if he can clear him in this turn.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how hard Holzer runs it here to try to keep that lead. He doesn't want to burn up those tires. Very easy to do here in Atlanta. He's going to kind of let him clear, but he's going to go right back down to the inside as he has a big run coming off the 2 on that high line. He's going to try to make a move here on 3 or 4.
And while these guys are racing, Scott Healy is just catching up ever so slightly.
Yep.
And Holzer will take that lead right
Woo!
back.
Oh, boy. They are racing up here. It's only lap 15 of 130, and, man, we are getting a show from these Cup guys.
And they're just going to go back and forth, but now Scott Healy enters his nose into the fray here. And he's going to have to pick a line which way he wants to go and who he wants to push.
Yeah, he's loving what he's seeing. These guys are eating their tires up, just battling for this lead, and he's kind of just cruising and picking up time each lap, and he's going to get a good run on the inside of Timothy Latham here if he decides to take it. They might go 3 wide on the front stretch.
And it looks like Holzer's finally going to start to break away a little bit. But while all that was going on, Jake Roel, our points leader, back in 4th place now.
Yeah, so he's steadily moving up towards the front. He probably knows, all these guys are in the same chat, and now they know that Dean Brummett has had issues tonight and is possibly going to have to take it down pit road if he has a good amount of damage. Didn't look like he hit the wall too hard on his little spin, but Scott Healy has been the class of the field for RSR tonight. He's making the move on Timothy Latham.
Yeah, out there in the chat, Brooke Limke saying good luck number 66. That is Joshua Siegfried back here in 23rd position. He's kind of tucked away with all these other cars back here in that Camping World number 66. So he is an independent tonight coming up from the Xfinity Series. So Brooke, he's on his way, but he's back there in the back right now.
Yeah, he's back there in the back, but we're seeing a good battle up here in the front. Well, Jake Rowell's going to be up here in no time as well. We might have a 4 or 5 car battle for the lead as you see Austin Reedy in the 84 back there running really well for Bronco Motorsports tonight.
Yeah, and Jake is just loving this right now where all the fighting up front is just causing him to just get right back into this thing.
Yeah, he's definitely in communications with that 64 machine right in front of him and probably just telling him to pick his spot wisely, and they're just cruising right now, letting them battle really hard for this first place position. Timothy Latham definitely wants to get by Holzer again here. See all the lines right here. We got a car in the middle, a car up high, and a car down low, and it's going to work for each one of them as they're going to come back to the stripe almost 3 wide.
And now it comes into play as far as we're 19 laps in, no pit stops yet. So those tires are starting to wear down. Will that inside line stick the way it's supposed to?
I think it will, and I think that's what Healy is trying to learn right now and see if it's going to work for those runs in the later part of the race. But right now it seems to be working really well for him. You'd imagine that momentum that you get from the high line is where you want to be. Oh boy,
same deal.
Yep. A lot of damage on the front end there, and the rear.
He's going to spin
back
it
on the track. Oh boy,
that's going to bring out the yellow.
Whew. Man, we saw that happen to Tristan or Landon Lacey last week at Phoenix, where these cup cars have a lot of power that goes straight to their rear axle, and it's so easy when you're going through the gears, just spin it, down on that apron where there's no grip at all. It's just a bunch of marbles, and just shoots your car right up the track. But we're going to go ahead and have another rec replay to see what happened So Ryan Ducombe in that 13 machine brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing.
It looks like it may have been in front of him as Shane Good gets into the wall, comes down, and then that just all happened because people were braking.
Great save by Scott Kowal there. That's who Shane Good initially got into, and he was able to keep it going straight and clean. But Ryan Ducombe is definitely the loser out of all of that.
Yeah, it just looks like he comes off the wall. Oh, actually, that's a little bit before here. Let's go back.
This turn, too, is just so loose, and you're trying to get everything you can. That wall comes up so quick, too. And, yeah, it's just so easy to break loose. And by then, you're just hoping that the guys around you see and avoid you. And nothing Shane Good could do there but do his best. And he really did. It's just unfortunate for Ryan Ducombe.
Now, a little bit earlier, Tristan Bailey had that issue coming off of the corner here. Oh, and it looked like was that Mitch Rollo that came off the wall?
That was Mitch Rollo, in the 96 car. He got a good chunk of that wall and got shot down right into Tristan Bailey and shoot him into the inside wall.
Now let's take a look at Dean Brummett with what happened with him. And it looks like him and Damian Leiniger got into it a little bit.
This is insane. I'm telling you, that turn 2 is unlike any other that we see on the circuit. It just sends your car so fast. This is a very high-speed, mile-and-a-half oval, and just an old surface that's eating these tires up, and it's just so easy to lose traction on that turn.
And as we go back to live view, let's see who wins the race off pit road.
Looks
like Scott Healy, but man, he got a great jump there. I'm kind of concerned about that.
Yeah, I hope that's not a speeding penalty. He really got to that line quickly, but then again, it could have been just, Holzer spinning the tires out of his stall. That's something we see a lot too.
Well, if that's the case, Scott Healy with a great jump out of pit road, and he is going to bring us to the lead here with James Holzer right back there in second, and points leader Jake Rowell in third. Timothy Latham fell all the way back down to fourth.
Yeah, I have to imagine he's going to get back up towards the front in no time as well. But these are the guys that we've seen battling to start off this race. Austin Reedy back there in the 84 and 5th. He's been up here too, so this top 5 is, bringing it tonight.
Yeah, just looking out there on the track right now, there are still 3 or 4 cars that are stuck in pit road, one of them being Shane Good. He's going to get off of pit road just in time. He was involved in that last accident. Ryan Ducombe still in there getting a ton of repairs done. Seth Berger, first week for him, and he looks like he's got a lot of damage going on as well. So, man, just all sorts of damage already. It looks like about half the field had something to repair.
Yeah, you see Ducombe there with no bumper on the front of the car. That's going to really hurt his chances of coming away with a top 7 tonight to get in the prize pool. He's not racing for points, so he's here for mainly the money. So we'll be curious to see if he gets back out on track or not. But really unfortunate to see one of the better guys we have in Xfinity Series. So he's gonna be there again on Thursday when we go back to Bristol next week. Yeah,
I'm looking out there at the chat right now, and it looks like Sue Nowak, who is Kyle Spee's grandmother, is saying, let's roll Kyle Spee's number 36. Grandma's ready for a great race.
Yeah, Kyle Spee's been having a good couple of weeks the last week, couple weeks. He's running in 6th right now, so he's having another good race so far. No reason he can't win a race. This guy's been in the SRN series for a long time, and he's working with Filthy 5 Motorsports, who has a ton of momentum right now. He can learn a lot from Landon Lacey, Timothy Latham, Brandon Browning, and Gabriel Ellison. So it's just like RSR, what we're seeing right now with Scott Healy running up front, no reason Kyle Spees can't get up there either.
Yeah, but man, we saw all 5 of Royal Smith Racing really have a good qualifying and a good practice session, and now they've got first place, third place, but then 18th place is Jacob Smith, 20th place is Dean Brummett, and then Shane Good was involved in that last incident, so back there in 29th. So they've got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, you really take for granted qualifying sometimes, but man, you really got to bring it and get a good run in your qualifying session, because what we're seeing in the middle of the pack, these cars getting loose and involving other people, innocent bystanders, it can end your day running back there. So RSR knows how to keep their cars clean, and that's running up towards the front.
Well, it doesn't look like Scott Healy got a penalty for speeding on pit road, because I think he would have been asked to come back down and hold. But he is out front. He is going to be our leader coming to the start-finish line, as the pace car is going to dive off. We're going to get right back started on lap 25 here of 130 here at the Hotlanta 200.
Yeah, Scott Healy in control of this restart. We're going to see the flag man wave that flag, and he's going to get a good jump here. He's going to go ahead and leave Jake Rowell. I'm sure they were talking here, letting him know when he's going to go so he can kind of clear that 42. But James Holzer getting a good restart as well.
Yeah, now these cars are all bunched back up again, and so we'll have to see how everything turns out. But take a look back there in the 8th position. You got David Duke. He's up 10 positions already in this race, and so he is wanting to push forward on this.
You see that 99 of Joseph Causey as well, one of those new tank cars running in the top 10. So good start for Tank Racing in the Cup Series. Glad to see him running in the top 10. Kind of a new name in there.
Definitely. Now we got Royal Smith Racing side by side for the lead as we're coming into 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is Jake's car and that 64 machine. It's Jake's team and Jacob Smith's team. He's not going to take it lightly on Scott Healy. He's really loose. Yeah. He's going to save it, though. Great save there. Could have really taken Timothy Latham out with him, but they both keep it going straight. He's still in contention here.
It was almost like Timothy Latham was following him down the track there.
Yeah, it's very easy to do here. But we're going to have side-by-side battles here from second on back. Jake's going to have a chance. We see him doing this last week where he just pulls away from the field. We'll see if he does it again this week here at Atlanta.
Man, you got 5 cars under a blanket right behind Jake, and Timothy gets a little wiggle.
Yeah, again, that's 2 laps in a row. He's really fighting the handling on that car right now. Going to have to really take it easy, otherwise he could find himself on the inside apron like we've seen a couple other guys this race.
Man, I got to tell you, 3rd place, Kyle Spees there on the outside. He's one of the quietest guys in the league, and what I mean by that is you don't even talk about him at all during the race or anything like that, and now all of a sudden he's up in 3rd place.
Like Kevin Harvick, Mr. Where did he come from? He's there, and he's had a great last couple of weeks, and he's using that momentum to carry himself up towards the front, and he's going to be battling with James Holzer and Jake Rowell here.
Definitely. I mean, if you asked anybody, hey, who of the 55 Motorsports are in the playoffs right now, Kyle Spees would not be on their list, but yet he is firmly in the playoff picture already.
Yeah, that team just brought on a new sponsor. You see on their hood, Zaxby's coming on board with 55 Motorsports this week. So they want to get up they want to get those cars up towards the front. You see it on Timothy Latham and Gabriel Ellison back there. They want to have a good run for that sponsor in their first race in SRN. So Kyle Spees is taking the flag and he's running with it tonight as he's making a move on the inside of James Holzer here.
Oh, I love me some Zaxby, so I'd love to see that car go to victory lane. But right now, Jake Rowell out front. And, man, when he gets out front, he is tough to reel in.
Yeah, I just have to imagine he's going to have a hard time breaking away from these guys. You don't want to push it too hard and get a big lead with those tires. Here at Atlanta, that's the old track surface that they have eats these tires away. So he might just be kind of keeping these guys within check here, or, he might just have something for Jake this week. These top 10 cars are all within a second and a half of each other, so anybody's race still.
Yeah, and Timothy Latham still trying to make that bottom line work as he gets up underneath Scott Healy here for 4th position.
Yeah, we've seen these 2 cars. They almost got into that, little bit of trouble a couple laps ago. They're battling side by side again here. They don't want to lose too many positions, but I have to imagine they aren't liking the way the car is feeling right now. But Scott Healy is going to go way up high and get a good run off of 4 here and probably clear the 5.
So out there in the chat, you do have Brooke Lemke. Brooke, this one's for you. Let's go check up on Joshua Siegfried. He is up 13 positions, which right now currently is the hardest charger of the race. And he is up in 13th right now in that 66 car.
Yeah, Josh, my Rev Racing teammate, he's been working hard and running a lot of these cup races and, wanting to get those good finishes week in and week out. I know he cares a lot about how he does in this series, so he's definitely putting in the time and logging the laps with these guys. But you see Daniel Bowler to his inside back there too in 14th. He's fallen back a little bit after we saw him start second, our winner from Thursday. So curious to see if he's able to get back up towards the front. A lot of cars to pass, and that's not something that's easy to do here in Atlanta.
Oh, and who is that?
Ooh.
That's Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor got up into the wall.
Goodness, you're seeing a lot of great saves tonight. We're going to put together a reel of all these saves that we're seeing.
Yeah, and everybody just flirting with that outside wall, and it is just reaching out and grabbing them.
Oh, Sean, I mean, if we can take a ride on board with one of these cars that's riding this high line, let's go on board with Kyle Spees if we can.
Yeah.
We're going to see that wall just come up so fast. You see that car on the inside, too. Wow!
Oh, that's a little faster than he wanted it to be there.
Yeah, kind of pinched him on the high line there, and Kyle Spees had nowhere to go. You see that damage on the hood. Look at that timing. I'm going to stop calling things out, though. I'm getting a lot of people with broadcasters curse.
And just look at this gaggle of cars just all over each other. And they have to be careful not only of the car right next to them, but the car in front of them and behind them also. So, man, just almost nowhere to go once you get boxed in that way.
Yeah, you see Gabriel Ellison just behind his teammate Kyle Spees. Like, where is he going to go? You know, I mean, we got a lot of lines out on the track. But at the same time, you see these cars just breaking loose on exit 2, and you don't want to put yourself and other drivers in danger. But you see David Duke and Timothy Latham running really tight there. David Duke trying to get that side draft, you know, that iRacing just implemented into these races, and it's going to work for him as he's got the momentum going through the front stretch here, and he's going to get the high line in 1 and 2 again.
Yeah, down there in the chat, TKT Racing saying, I predict RSR wins tonight and 3 RSR in the top 10. Well, right now we got Jake Rowell leading the way, Scott Healy in 3rd, and the next closest person to the top 10 for Royal Smith Racing is Jacob Smith back here in 14th. We've got Dean Brummett, who was involved in an incident earlier, right there in 15th as well.
Good to see that Dean Brummett didn't take too much of a hit. I was really worried that he was going to get set back. If they did go green for a while, though, but just to see him running 15th, that's already a win for him. You know, he could have had a really bad day here.
Yeah, if you look at 55 Motorsports, you've got Timothy Latham, Gabriel Ellison, Kyle Spees, number 7, 8, and 9 on the track. So teammates starting to link up out there on the track, and that's only going to help them.
You know, Jacob Smith running 14th as well. We're seeing the battle again shape up for 55 Motorsports and RSR as they're just in a really tight battle and getting tighter each week in that team standings. So see teammates here. They're going to see how hard they race each other. But Gabriel Ellison seems like he's got the faster car right now, just biding his time, patiently finding the way to pass these cars.
Yeah, back a little bit further, Ted Rekich, a name that we haven't even said tonight, in that number 91 Gatorade Zero car. He is up in 11th place. He is one of those cars in about the top 6 or 7 in the point standings, I believe. So he is one to watch as well.
All over that 12 car, and that's going to kill the momentum here as we might see Daniel Bowler take a look on the inside. Going into 1 and 2, that's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to see if Daniel Bowler can make that pass happen. Damian Laniger dropping down in front of him. Also having a good run tonight in that Revved Racing number 12 machine.
Yeah, Damian a little bit involved in an incident earlier with Dean Brummett, I believe. So good to see his car is okay on that, and he is working his way forward as well.
Seeing Adam Pettit come down pit road right now. Not sure why. Not much damage on the car.
He does have some front side damage. Yeah. Look at that.
Yep, he does have a little bit front end damage. I'm curious to know if the same thing happened to him off of 2.
It looks. Didn't catch it. Oh, his car is dead. His engine has blown.
That's what that front end damage will do to you. It kills the radiator, and then that thing just gets really hot very easily, and then boom, before you know it, you know, you're trying to survive and wait for a caution. But if that caution doesn't come, that car is going to get really hot, and it's going to blow up on you. Yeah,
so Adam Pettit, who really needed a good finish tonight because he had missed 3 races earlier in the season, and so those will be his drop weeks. So he could not afford to have a bad week this week, and here he is.
Yeah, with how tight this field is on that cut line, he really did need that this week. So unfortunate to see, but you know, nonetheless, he is the team owner of Revved Racing, and Revved Racing is having a really good year so far, leading the truck standings, and Xfinity's trying to get going as well. And Cup is doing really well as well. So look at the glass half full.
Well, Bowler and Spees still going head-to-head here as Bowler's on the inside, Spees on the outside. You got Joshua Siegfried right behind him, trying to decide which way to go.
Bowler trying to move that way up to the front here as he takes the top 10 position. But you see Josh Siegfried right there, like you said, he's slowly making his way up to the front, running with the big guys, Ted Rekich and Jacob Smith behind him, Dean Brummett as well. So he's having a good run. We got the yellow flag here. Oh.
Not sure.
It's the 91, I think. Yep.
Yeah, Ted Rekich. Backwards on the track here.
We were literally just looking at him. I can't believe we missed that.
Well, let's go back to a rec replay and find out exactly what happened with Ted Rekich.
Yeah, this rec replay is always brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia.
And again, keep in mind that Ted is firmly in the playoff picture right now, so depending on how much damage he has here, this could really hurt. Looks like Jacob Smith right there on his bumper, and yeah, it just gets into the backup and turns him.
Such a bumpy backstretch, I have to imagine, something happened and maybe Jacob shot up a little bit when he wasn't expecting to touch Ted in the bumper. But man, they were running really tight back here, so I'm not surprised to see this.
So just didn't hit squarely there.
Yeah, I just have to imagine Jacob wasn't planning on being that close to the bumper, but hopefully Ted Rekich able to get that damage fixed and work his way back up to the front. We've seen him have to do that a couple times in the last couple of weeks, and he can get back up there in a hurry.
And yeah, you can see just I don't see any malice there, but at the same time, it's just, man, that is so tough to judge.
It is, and it's just, like I said, if we could take another onboard cam of Jacob Smith, you just see how bumpy it is on that backstretch, and it just really can jar your wheel out of your hand or make it like shoot up on you without you even expecting it. It's just so bumpy back here. Yeah, it's just, cars fighting for the same real estate there, and I just really think that the 11 didn't expect to be that close to his bumper, and it accidentally turned Ted Rekich, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so Ted is trying to get back out there on the track here. Trying to get back going again. And so currently he is showing as the leader, but he's going to come out in pit road, get some damage repaired, and get going. So as we get back out there, James Holzer is actually going to be our leader.
I got really confused there for a second because that was the same exact spot that we found him in. Right. So I wasn't sure if that was the end of the rec replay or not, but something must have happened when he was coming to the pits, maybe downshifted too early.
Yeah, it looks like he got the wave around is what he wasn't supposed to take a wave around there.
Oh.
So he had to wait. That's what happened. So he wasn't supposed to take the wave around just yet. So that's where that came from.
Going to spin out a little bit on him there. Yeah, these cars are hard to get going. But yeah, you see it there. James Holzer is going to take the lead with Jake Roel just behind him in second, and Austin Reedy in that 84 machine moving up to third with, you see Jeremy Causey there in fourth place, having a great run in that 99 machine for Tank tonight.
Yeah, nobody here, with the exception of his teammates, knows anything about Joseph Causey. So really interesting to see him up front, and it's going to be really fun to watch him drive and see what he really does have under that hood.
I'm excited to see another name come to the table and push these guys. We've seen Jay kind of dominate the series the last couple of weeks, but I mean, with Holzer and Timothy Latham and, all of Filthy 5 and RSR and SRN are going to take note of this name, as we got a new contender here, it looks like, which Mr. Causey out on track.
Yeah, but if you just read off the list of the top 8 right now, James Holzer, Jake Roel, Austin Reedy, Joseph Causey, David Duke, Timothy Latham, Damian Leininger, Daniel Bowdler. Let's keep going. Jacob Smith, Joshua Siegfried. So the only 2 people there that anybody can sit there and say, you know what, I'm kind of surprised that they're up there, are Joshua Siegfried and Joseph Causey. Those are the only 2 that is a surprise, and even those can't be that surprising.
Really cool to see another Tank Racing car up there as well. Max Service coming up from 29th to 11th. So Tank Racing put together a really good team, and the guy that I mentioned wanting to get the monkey off the back just to his outside there in the 83 machine, Chris Massey, running in 12th right now. So a lot of names we're not used to seeing up to the front, making their way up to the front.
I got to tell you, I love this Red Bull car designed by Devin Zimmerman. So absolutely love that car. I told him that the other day when I first saw it. So beautiful paint job there. Great job by Devin Zimmerman and his team.
Yeah, that's why they want to get him up to the front so everybody can see it, get him some face time. So he's definitely doing that as we see the pace car going to peel off down pit road as we're getting ready to go back to green with James Holzer in command here.
Yeah, be on the lookout for Jake Roel here. He is not going to want Holzer to get too far out front at all.
Yeah. veteran move right there. You see Jake timed it well to get down to the inside to prevent Austin Reedy from getting a run to his inside quarter panel there. He's going to have a good run here and a shot to get at Holzer.
Yeah, he gets a great run off that turn. He's going to be right on Holzer's tail. Holzer's going to get down to the inside. Jake's going to take that outside line.
Yeah, now it comes to the time where Holzer has to decide and pick his lines wisely. You know, Jake's going to have a lot of momentum on this high line. He might just have to let him go.
Yeah, it depends on how much you want to save your tires here. I mean, if you want to battle for it, go for it. But that inside line is definitely a little bit faster, but it's also eating those tires up.
Yeah, we've only seen 2 cautions so far within these first 48 laps. So in this race can easily go green the rest of the way, depending on how spread out the field gets. But right there, you see for fourth, there's a nice battle shaping up for Austin Reedy, Timothy Latham, and David Duke. So David Duke working his way up to the front too with that 12 machine, and Damian Leininger just behind him.
Yeah, great race up here, and here's Joseph Causey up in 3rd place, looking at the tail of James Holzer, trying to get to his inside, I believe.
Really good looking Night Owl car. He's trying to get up there to the 9, the Jake Rowell machine, but he's going to have to get past James Holzer, which is no easy task in itself either. So he's going to have to pick his passes wisely and get some momentum off of one of these turns, see if he can get a run on the inside to Holzer.
Yeah, Rose Brummett out there saying, go Dean Brummett, number 25. Dean right now back in 13th position after being involved in that incident a little bit earlier. So still having a good run, even with some damage.
Yeah, unfortunate to see him have that bad luck to start off, but, Dean's a veteran. I mean, he's got 4 wins for a reason.
Oh, we got something going on back here in the back. Tristan Bailey.
Yep, the 17 of Danny Setzer.
Yeah, Tristan took a tow.
Setzer's still back there.
Yeah, Setzer is still backwards on the track.
He's going to have to park it here and let the guys go by as they're coming out of turn 2 right now.
Yeah, we're going to... Hopefully that does not cause a caution. I don't think it will since he's down at the bottom of the track, but he is going to get back on the track here shortly, but he will go a lap down.
Yeah, unfortunate to see Setzer moving up from the Xfinity Series to Cup Series a couple weeks ago and not having the best of luck to start, but he loves running on these Sunday races, and he's going to get it turned around next week.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey, the only Bronco Motorsports member that is actually in the playoffs. I'm sorry, that's Austin Reedy. So, but Tristan Bailey, still a great driver himself, but looking to get into the playoffs. But he is basically going to be out of this race.
Yeah, I'm curious to know if you can queue up that caution or that rec replay in a couple laps and see what exactly happened to Tristan Bailey. I didn't see him back there. Curious to know how much time he lost and if he ever got any damage from hitting these walls that could really impact his race negatively. So we'll take another rec replay here from Sandwich Man Racing Sports memorabilia. Check him out on Shopify.
Looks like he gets to the inside of Danny Setzer, and Danny Setzer just comes off that corner and loses it.
Oh man, big damage for both of them. They both hit the nose squarely. We're seeing Danny Setzer come down pits now, get that damage repaired. But it looks like, Tristan Bailey taking the tow and ending his night.
Unfortunate there, just coming off that turn. It is so loose there. You just fly off that turn.
Yep. It happens so fast. It's unbelievable. So a lot of these guys are finding that out the hard way tonight, unfortunately. You see Jake Rowell here just keeping that gap. He's maintaining that about 3/10 gap on James Holzer, and Causey just sitting back there as well as we see Devin Zimmerman chime in. Woo, Tank Racing. Yeah, we've been talking about him, Devin. You put together a good little team here. And Joseph Causey is he's leading the stable so far, running in 3rd in that 99 machine, that Night Owl Hooters machine you see there, just behind that 42 car, James Holzer.
Yeah, take a look at this paint scheme also. So again, this is another Devin Zimmerman classic here. Man, just really great job by Devin Zimmerman and the entire team over there at Tank Racing. Getting some great paint schemes.
Yeah, he just started up his own paint stable, trying to get it going, and he's putting the product out there on the track, and his team is putting the cars up to the front, so he's getting them some good TV time, and I'm curious to see if we'll see that 81 machine, a Max Service, keep making his way up to the front in that Red Bull car. But right now we're seeing David Duke. He's getting up towards the front. He's in a battle for 5th right here with Austin Reedy in that 84 car.
Yeah, out there in the chat right now, Logan Joyner is saying, look out for Austin Reedy. And here he is.
Oh, yeah, we've been watching Austin Reedy. We know about Austin Reedy now. We learned in Fontana that he can run up to the front, and he can do it week in and week out. He's definitely been the car to watch out of the Broncos stable. But another one that I mentioned, Chris Massey, in that 83 car, he's in the top 10 now. Great run for him about halfway through this race so far.
Yeah, just in front of him, Joshua Siegfried up here in 9th, so still just running a really great race. But our hardest charger right now is up 18 positions, and that is Joseph Causey from Tank Racing.
Yeah, just really putting together a good race and getting his name known, and that's what it's all about. You know, he's up here running with the big guys. Jake Rowell is the SRN wins leader with 6, tied with Daniel Bowdler. And James Holzer is no slouch either, even though he's not gotten a win in SRN. He has gotten a top 10 finish in every week except last week at Phoenix, which is one of the more difficult tracks that we go to.
And it's looking pretty good for him right now. Even if he doesn't get this win tonight, still another great drive for him so far in this race.
Yeah, he'll definitely be excited about a second place finish, but I know Holzer, and I've raced with him through NASCAR heat, and I've seen him come up. Oh, big wreck here out of Timothy Latham. David Duke involved. That's a big hit for a lot of these guys here. A lot of people able to get by it, though. That's great to see.
I don't think he hit the wall at all.
He definitely got spun, so there was contact. I'm curious to see the David Duke vantage point here as we get another wreck replay. I believe this is our third caution of the night. Brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. If you're into die casts, football shirts, any shirts for that matter, hats, any sports memorabilia you can think of, check out Sandwich Man Racing on Shopify.
So Timothy Latham side by side with Austin Reedy. You got David Duke right behind.
You're going to see one of these cars start breaking loose, or Austin Reedy just gets in the... Oh, yeah, that's a big hit for the 5 there in the outside wall.
Yeah, Austin Reedy and Timothy Latham just get into each other, and then David Duke, just kind of an innocent bystander trying to get by.
Yeah, we saw them battling hard for that 5th place position back there, and it eventually got up to Timothy Latham for 4th, and I think they both ran into the same lane here. A little bit of net code got a hold of Timothy Latham there, it looked like.
Yeah, and David Duke with absolutely nowhere to go there.
Yeah, how much damage I wasn't able to see from that vantage point. We'll see how hard a hit he gets, but Timothy Latham definitely taking a hard shot into the wall. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean...
It didn't look like it might have got too much stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he might have got a little lucky. He's going to have some optional repairs when he goes to the pits for sure. So he's going to drop back with that time delay in the pits, but really good to see David Duke kind of able to escape one there.
Yeah, it looks like Latham will have some damage to repair as he stays in the pits past his typical 14 to 15 second run. So he is going to get some stuff fixed up. But James Holzer comes out in first, and Joseph Causey moves up another position into second.
I have to imagine we're going to see that 99 car up front. He's only got one more spot to go. He's moved up, 20 positions so far. What's one more? He's gotten past the guy who's led pretty much the whole race so far in Jake Rowell, so we'll see if he can keep him behind him. But Holzer is no slouch either up front, so Causey's definitely got his work cut out, but he's putting it together for Tank Racing here. I'm sure Devin Zimmerman is very excited.
Yeah, this is going to be really cool to see what Joseph Causey can do here. You see that number 17, that's Danny Setzer out there in front. He is going to hopefully get his lap back here as he'll get the wave around.
I'm not sure how many laps he's down, but he had a good amount of damage, and he had to sit there and wait for the cars to go by on the backstretch. Thankfully, he did that because it would have been a very dangerous situation to pull back out on track. So just showing what a veteran Danny Setzer is to let the guys go by and keep the race going green. So seeing a little blanket from James Holzer there, but let's go ahead and run through the top 10 again before we go. We got a couple more laps of pace in here as you see the lights still on the pace car. But we got the James Holzer machine right there in first and for the 42 SRN machine. And then Tank Racing's 99 of Joseph Causey running in second. And Jake Rowell, our season points leader and the winner of last week's race at Phoenix, running third with Damian Leiniger. Having a really good run tonight, Sean, in fourth.
Yep, Dean Brummett in 5th for Royal Smith Racing, even after some damage early in the race. Chris Massey trying to make his name heard once again here in Speed Racing Network, up in 6th. Gabriel Ellison in 7th for Filthy 5 Motorsports. And then Max Service, another Tank Racing newbie this week, up here in 8th.
Yeah, the coolest name in the circuit so far. But really good run right now for the 9th place car, Josh Siegfried. He's part-timer in the Cup Series, running with these big guys up in the top 10. Then rounding out that top 10 is Shane Good, one of those RSR cars we keep mentioning in that 24 car. So a really interesting top 10 right now, and a lot of new names we're not used to seeing, and it's making for a great race, Sean.
Yes, it is, and we are going to get started in one more lap here. So we'll get started here on lap 64 of 130, so we are just about halfway through. We have had 3 cautions on the night.
Yeah, just point out another hard charger that we're seeing in the field. Joshua Balliet in that 74 car running 11th, and Jordan Bain in the 28 machine for Revd Racing moved up from 34th to 15th. We saw Michael York give him a little shout out earlier. So a lot of new names making their way up to the front, as a lot of these leaders are finding themselves getting into trouble, as we just saw Timothy Latham take a hard hit after getting tangled up with Austin Reedy and David Duke there.
Yeah, I'm looking out here at the chat right now. So you got Devin Zimmerman saying, "Have you ever heard of Jaws?" Donna.
Slowly but surely, he's making his way up to the front. He's making a great race for it.
All right,
see Sean Dozier written on the 12 as well. So yeah, we got a lot of new names, guys, and see that pace car peel down, and James Holzer is going to have the command here.
Yeah, Jake Roel gets a really great jump behind that 42. And it looks like Jake Roel is going to get that second position away from Joseph Causey before we even get to turn 1.
Yeah, it's not what Causey wanted. Jake Roel, one of the hardest cars to pass in the league. Not what he wanted for sure, but nonetheless still having a great run in that 99 car. But under fire from Dean Brummett on the inside now. RSR making their way up to the front.
Yep, Jake Roel going for the lead on the bottom here, and he will get that lead from James Holzer.
Took him only a lap. Whoa!
He turns.
Oh man, it's going to be hard to save this. He's going to keep down the apron.
Hold on to it, Jake.
Woo! Wow. It's like riding the bull. Wow, he's going to really wad a bunch of people up here. Scott Healy, his teammate, having to go to the outside.
But look who benefits from that. Joseph Causey to the lead for Tank Racing.
Wow, just what a series of events we saw in that one lap of action. Jake Roel just pushing it a little too hard on cold tires, sent him through the infield, but what a save to keep that car going. Man.
I'm trying to find the actual replay of that. I'm not really sure what happened there with Jake.
It's a matter of cold tires. It's the first lap, and he was pushed. I was shocked how hard he was going and just getting up to the front in no time, and that's really what can happen when you push it that hard. And surprised to see Jake Roel, of all people, do that. But man, what a save by the guy. Battle for first, though, as we see James Holzer and Joseph Causey coming to the stripe, and Holzer's going to get it that time.
Yeah, huge move there, and so it looks like Causey's going to get down to the bottom once again and get that lead right back, but he can't quite finish that pass.
Yeah, so that cost Jake Roel 10 positions. He's back at 11th now. And like
Dean
I
Brummett.
said, yeah, he's going way up there. Ripping the lip, as they like to say. He's running as high as you can go. So he's trying to make his way up to the front now after his buddy Jake Roel taking a spin through the field.
Yeah, we're going to try to have that replay for you guys here shortly, but we don't want to get away from this battle for the lead here. It's a good battle.
Yeah, definitely shaping up nicely. Damian Leininger, he's going to make his presence known here soon. If these guys can't sort it out, they might take advantage on that high line. We saw Dean Brummett take a shot at it the last lap.
Yeah, this side-by-side racing is doing nothing but helping these guys in the back catch right back up. So Dean Brummett looking to the outside. He's going to follow James Holzer.
Yeah, Causey's going to try and get a big run here on the inside, maybe clear him and slide up in front of him. See if he does it and able to pull it off. He's not going to do... Oh, wow, Holzer going to take
big move.
Yeah, that's a little scary when you kind of go down that fast, and I'm not sure Causey was expecting that to happen. But Causey's going to have the high line run here. And
oh, no, here we go.
Oh, Oh, no.
Holzer through the grass.
Oh, big hit for
Causey into the wall.
Man.
We're still under green, and Damian Leiniger ends up in first place after that.
Wow, what a crazy green run we're seeing here with these cars. We saw them breaking loose off of 2, and now it seems to have flipped the script on them, and the cars are really getting loose out of 4. But, man, Holzer and Causey were really running tight.
Now we're under yellow.
Yeah. They were really tight off of turn 4, and I think it's another matter of they just both went to the same line, and that's going to really end Causey's night, unfortunately. That was a hard hit into that outside wall. Looks like he's still got all the body panels on the car, but he's got some significant damage on there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what caused the actual cause. Oh, it's David Duke. Look at that.
Yeah, he definitely didn't lose that from the Timothy Latham incident earlier. So something else happened out there on track. I have to imagine it got all these cars wadded up when we had Holzer and Causey off the pace.
All right, let's go back to the Jake Rowell incident first. Let's go back and see what happened on this. This is crazy.
It's been a busy 10 laps. It's been a busy 10 laps.
Coming off the turns 3 and 4, Jake just gets loose.
And a little help from 42, nowhere to go. Just gets him a little in the bumper there. Man.
But take a look at this save. Wow, what a great save.
Can you do the onboard there? I just love the onboard.
Absolutely.
It really gives the audience a great perspective of how hard this save really was. Like, going 180 as well is it's just boom, 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 hitting everything, and you're just watching these cars fly by, and you're trying to not hit anybody coming back up on track, and he does it like a pro.
That is crazy how well he did that. Absolutely insane.
Yeah,
okay, so now cool. Let's see who else we got back here because.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, we got
back there as well.
That was Joseph Dupont involved in that. So
yeah.
So it looks like we got a little bit more going on. So Jacob Smith and Ted Rekich get involved. Joseph Causey up into the wall a little bit.
I'm curious to know a little bit more about that because we saw Jacob Smith and Ted Rekich get into a little altercation a little while ago. So something to look out for potentially here.
Yeah, Jacob Smith touched the wall there and came down. Oh, and that's what hit David Duke. Wow.
Well, we took the onboard cam of Jacob Smith when this happened last time. Can we do that with Ted Rekich? It's just to see, you know, we took a good look at it from Jacob's perspective. Yeah, it's just so bumpy back here. Probably trying to get a little bit of a draft off of that 11 machine.
Yeah, we are trying to find. We're trying to find the incident that had Joseph Causey involved. Give us 1 second on that, and we will try to find that incident for you.
A lot happening in these last 10 laps, man. Sandwich Man Racing getting some good FaceTime right now.
Oh, yes, they absolutely they are. They're getting a ton of time.
Yeah, just our 4th caution so far, but man, it seems like we've seen a lot of incidents, just not a lot of caution flags.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that replay for us here. And so it was.
Yeah,
so I apologize, we don't have that.
No problem, but a lot of new names we're starting to see move their way up to the front. Like you said, Damian Leiniger leading this race now. But that 66 machine of Josh Siegfried all the way up to 4th place. Up from 26th spot. And then Jake Rowell able to pick up some spots on pit road as he's back up to 5th. Chris Massey running in 6th right now. Max Service, he's going to take the reins for that Tank Racing stable after we saw Causey get in a little trouble there. He's running 7th right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to find actually that incident with Causey.
I can't remember exactly what lap that was. That's really going to hurt Joseph Causey's day, though. He took a hard shot into that triangle outside wall, and I'm guessing he got some significant damage and is going to be, yeah, he's parked on pit road right now, so I'm thinking his day is done.
See if I can If I can find one of those replays and just rewind it from there, I might do that for us.
Oh, nope. He just proved me wrong. He's going back out on track, so he's going to keep the car going for Tank Racing. But we're getting ready to go back green, and like I said, we're going to see Damian Leininger take a different approach here from the lead. He's going to get a start or his restart on the outside lane. And that's going to put Dean Brummett there on the inside with Gabriel Ellison in third place in that 27 machine. Like I said, Joshua Siegfried in fourth, Jake Rowell fifth, Chris Massey sixth right there, and Max Service in seventh, Scott Healy in eighth, Shane Good in ninth, and Bowdler in 10th. So the pace car pulls off, and we're going to see that outside line get a good jump here. And that's going to put Joshua Siegfried in a really good position to come away with second place.
Yeah, Damian Leininger out front right now, and I think I did find that replay finally. So on our next caution, or when we get things sorted out, we will go back there to that replay.
Just didn't have enough time. It's all good. Well, I imagine with the kind of racing that we are seeing right now, we might have another caution soon. So, but Damian Leininger right now is taking advantage of everything you've seen happen on track, and it's putting him out in front in that clean air. But Jake Rowell is going to try and get past his teammate here, Dean Brummett, on the outside, and he wants to get back up front so bad after that amazing save.
Yeah, two great teammates there. They've got a third teammate back there, Scott Healy, back there in seventh.
Yeah, great run for all these guys so far tonight, this top 10. A lot of new names we're not used to seeing.
Hey, back here, Zach. Oh, we're 3 wide. Usually that doesn't work very well.
Yeah, they're making it work and proving us wrong though. So they're definitely exploring all the lanes on this track tonight. It's great to see. It's really good racing.
I mean, just look at this jumble back here, just trying to get straightened out, and it looks like Mitch Rollo gets a little bit squirrely there.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it down on that low line, but keep it going too with the momentum, so it's easy to break it loose. But he had a little bit of an incident earlier in the race, so maybe he's learned from that, or it might have tightened his car up a little bit too, which could be a good thing.
Yeah, Damian Leininger still leads this thing, but Jake Rowell going down to the inside, trying to take that lead away.
Jake wanting to make it 4 wins on the season. We mentioned it in the pre-race show. Him and Daniel Bowdler tied for the SRN, lead on wins with 6 apiece. So Daniel Bowdler in this race trying to make his way back up to the front, running 7th right now. But Jake, he's trying to get that lead to himself with 7 wins potentially.
Oh yeah, we had the distinct pleasure on Wednesday night to have Jake Rowell and Daniel Bowdler in the booth together calling an entire race, and the entire time it was, I've got the lead, no, you've got the lead, I've got the lead, I've got the lead. And so these guys, they love just winning. They want to be the number one out there, and so they're not going to hold back.
Hey, I've only got 1 win to my name, and I love bragging about that, so I can only imagine if I had 6, I would probably be 6 times worse. So I can totally understand, and it was a great time with them in the booth. They put on a great show on Wednesday, but right now, Damian Leininger and Jake putting on a great show up in front. Damian's going to try and clear him, but I don't think it's going to happen.
We're talking about a lot of wins and everything, and we're going to go ahead and pull this up right now. Somebody that does not have a single win in Speed Racing Network is Jason Tripp, and he is going to be one of the captains on the All-Star team, and I have a feeling he is still not going to have a win after the All-Star race.
Yeah, you got a certain hashtag that you've been sharing around. What is that again?
It is #WhipTrip, and that is what is going to happen at the All-Star race. It's my team, Sean Griffith's team, is going to win that whole dang thing.
Oh, you got to come up with a cooler team name than Sean Griffith's team. Come on. But you got some time. Like you said, May 1st.
We'll figure it out.
It's going to be the draft, and it's going to be something that we've never seen before within the iRacing community. So it's really exciting. SRN's bringing on new things within their series and really catching the eye of a lot of people out in the community. Potentially, they might pick up on what we're doing here at SRN. But the draft May 1st, qualifiers on May 8th, and the actual race itself on Sunday, May 9th. So no actual coverage between the series that week. It's just All-Star week for us.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time with that, especially with the draft. And, hey, you're talking about I should name the team something better than Sean Griffith's team. Let's call it the Trip Whippers.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, he's going to fire me after he sees this thing.
I had nothing to do with it, Trip, just to let you know. I'm an innocent bystander over here.
Daniel Bowler down to the inside. That is Chris Massey that he is right next to, and Daniel's going to try to get this position away from him. This is for 6th position on the track. So Daniel Bowler trying to follow up his win in the Xfinity Series with a win here in the Cup Series.
Yeah, kind of appropriate with that 6 on the side. Like you said, he's got 6 wins to his name as well. So he knows how to get these positions one by one. He's slowly working on Chris Massey. Chris Massey probably with the preferred line up high to get that momentum and that run off of the turns. But right now, it looks like Bowler's going to be able to slide up and complete the turn or the pass for 6th place. And he's going to start to try to run down Josh Siegfried up there in 5th.
You know, somebody that you don't see up here in the top 10 right now is James Holzer, who was up front this entire time. He had some damage, had to get some repairs done, so he has moved up into about 14th position now. So, but man, look at this group of cars that he's around right now that he's trying to get through.
Yeah, he's going to have to really take his time and be careful. Jordan Bain running up there in the 11th position, so slowly making his way up to the top 10, and that's great to see. You know, one of the newer guys we have in the series just ticking off laps, running with the best that we have on Sundays here. He's definitely learning from it, and it's showing week in, week out. But right now he's got a hard charge in 42 trying to make his way back up to the front. He knows he can get up there. He's just going to have to do it patiently.
Yeah, the other one is Scott Healy here in 14th position. So he was up front for a lot of that first half of the race, and now he's trying to find his way back up front again. But right now that lead is held by Jake Rowell, and he's starting to pull away.
Yep, and you saw another one back there in that gaggle of cars, we'll call it, Timothy Latham. Also about 15th place right now, so a lot of these guys that we saw running up to the front, trying to get past what seems to be a very good race back here for 8th on back. And we're 3 wide through the tri-oval, which is a little sketchy, and you're going to see get a little close to Shane Good and Scott Kowal there, but I think they're going to make it work. This track has so many grooves. Whoa, really tight right there for Shane Good. He probably had to get out of it a little bit, but Joshua Balliet going to take advantage there.
Yeah, Joshua just had to kind of stay out of the way there, just kind of wait and see where to go, but now they all get lined up, and they are right back to going. But up front, you got Dean Brummett, who's got Joshua Siegfried that's trying to track him down.
Yeah, it's good to see Josh running up here in the top 5. He can learn a lot from these guys. Even though this isn't his series that he runs week in, week out, we got a lot of guys here with a lot of races under their belt. So just running behind Dean Brummett could go a long way in Josh's progression. But we're seeing a battle here for 2nd. Gabriel Ellison is slowly moving his way up to the front, too, for Filthy 5 Motorsports. We mentioned they have a new sponsor on board this week, so they want to get those cars up front.
Yeah, they are on their way right now. I'm trying to go back. Let's go back to that gaggle of cars one more time here, because we've still got some good side-by-side racing.
We're going to put gaggle in the dictionary before this season's over. I think it should be an actual word.
Is it not?
I'm not sure. I mean, I never had it in a vocab test when I was in elementary school, so that's what I go off of here. But right now, you see Timothy Latham and Ted Rekich, 2 of our faster cars in this race today, side by side, not giving each other any breaks right now. They each want to be in front of the other, and it's going to burn these tires up, I have to imagine. All these cars are running really hard back here.
Okay, I got to tell you, I had to look it up, Greg. Gaggle. It's a noun for a disorderly or noisy group of people. Here we go.
Well, it matches perfectly, man. We'll get to see all these guys when we take our trip to Nashville, and we'll have a definite gaggle then if everybody shows up. But we're excited for that whenever that race comes on. But yeah, it's a good race back there so far. Running clean for everybody, but a lot of good talent back there.
And it looks like Damian Leininger might. These guys are. Oh no, Damian Leininger comes off that corner.
Wow,
almost loses it right there in front of Gabriel.
I have to imagine Gabriel saw that happening and probably let out because he was right on his quarter panel. Probably took the air off a little bit there, and you're not used to that car breaking loose this far of a run in. They're about 18 laps on green green flag laps. I always get that messed up right now. So these tires should be well worn in, and you're used to having that car break loose on cold tires, but not this far into a run. So I have to imagine air played a little factor into that.
Yeah, Jake Rowell starting to pull away just a little bit. He's up to 0.6 of a second now.
Yeah, Jake doing what Jake does here. He's been doing this a lot lately the last couple of weeks, just leading laps. Sometimes strategy has played him the wrong way, but right now he hasn't had to worry about that because whenever you get a caution flag here in Atlanta, you got to pit. So he's not worried about people staying out on him here. And right now we're about halfway through this run, so we'll see if they can get some green flag stops, maybe shake some things up here. We got one stop left before the end of this race.
Yeah, and this is probably the best run we've had as far as people kind of starting to get spread out. But you know, the second I say that, going back here to a few cars, they're not spread out at all.
No, not at all. You go a little further back, they're all over the place. You see, ooh, David Duke there with his nose cut off. He got a little bit of grass, and that's going to always get the car squirrely, but able to keep going. And off the other cars, he knows that his race is done for the day without the parts on that car. But still, doing what I say this every week, you can tell the veterans in this series because they just continue to run laps, not knowing who's going to potentially fall out of this race, and any points matter. Like I said, there are so many people on the cut line 1 point out of the race or out of the playoffs, so that point could get you in. And David Duke knows that, so good to see him still out there.
Yeah, you definitely just have to keep on fighting. I mean, there's no reason not to. You just never know what's going to happen, especially in a race that has no fast repairs. I mean, there could be a huge wreck up front that takes out half the field, and then you're able to get a few laps back around those guys, and you just move up 10, 15 positions.
Yeah, I finished a race at Atlanta on Wednesday with no front end on my car, and it caught a lot of the field up in the one caution we had. I still finished 16th. So, I mean, that's a good day after what happened. A lot of the guys dropped out of the race and stopped running. I was like, I'm just going to keep racing. And, you set up a time slot for you to run in these races, so why not go out and finish the race? It's a team. You got team standings on the line here at SRN, and that's any points matter. I keep saying that. It's very important. It's good to see him out there.
Yeah, Jordan Bain up here in 9th position. Started off in 34th. Started off in dead last. And here he is up in 9th position. So definitely working his way forward.
Yeah, good to see 2 red cars running in the top 10 with his teammate Damian Leininger still in second. Jordan Bain trying to make his way up there. So he's got his hands full, but definitely making progress. He's not moving back. He's moving forward. So got to follow that story.
Yeah, just kind of looking out there on the track as far as the team standings are concerned and everything, a lot of parity out there. So there's there's a couple of guys from Royal Smith Racing in the top 5, but besides that, not a lot of the same teams anywhere on the track in the top 10.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these guys that we're used to seeing right up to the front fall victim to some incidents on track, and that's definitely shaking up the standings as we're seeing them right now. Making for a great race, like you said. Chris Massey running way up there with Kyle Spees on the inside and Jordan Bain. This could really get ugly if one of these cars gets loose, but they're able to make it happen and keep it steady.
Yeah, James Holster just trying to be as patient as he possibly can be. You know he's got speed because he was running up front pretty much the entire race. And so he's just got to be patient and make those passes one pass at a time.
Another person making a pass, I think, right now is going to be Daniel Bowdler in that 6 machine. He's working on Dean Brummett as we speak, and he does make the pass. So he's up to 5th. About 30 laps left in this race, so it's go time. I say it every week. That's my phrase, go time. So he knows he's got to get going, and we do have another green flag stop, I believe, before this race is over. We're going to see them start possibly right now with Timothy Latham coming down.
Yeah, Timothy Latham, first one to take his pit. So Jake Rowell, now we got to start thinking about when it's time to go.
Yeah, that's going to pick up his lap times exponentially and really pick up some time and positions on track. And with 30 laps to go, I can't imagine it's going to hurt him too bad coming down this early. So it's really going to, I think, pull off some people off the track. We see another one, Mitch Rollo, Joshua Balliet, another Zach Taylor, Thomas Rutherford getting loose sideways back there. Ted Reckett also coming down the pits. Yeah, definitely forcing people's hands here.
Yeah, but up front, Jake Rowell, his lead just keeps on extending. He's up to 1.5 seconds. I mean, he is gaining about 0.2 of a second per lap at this point. And now he is going to dive into the pits.
Yep, you're going to see Damian Leiniger come down behind him and Gabriel Ellison. But I think we're going to see a lot of leaders. Siegfried comes down, Dean Brummett as well, Scott Healy.
Yep, Daniel Bowler is going to inherit the lead here. And then James Holzer actually is going to end up back up in second place.
Yeah, this is going to shake things up because I imagine we're going to see a lot of the guys that weren't running up to the front. You see that 83 car Massey running third. I have to imagine we're going to see them stay out and stretch it as far as they can in hopes of getting that caution and pinning some people a lap down. Wouldn't surprise me one bit to see that. But Daniel Bowdler, our winner from Thursday, he has the lead, I believe, at the moment. I don't know if the standings are updated or not, or is it Holzer out front?
I believe it's Daniel Bowdler out front right now. James Holzer in second. My scoring is a little bit messed up. It's saying that, there it goes.
There we go.
Fixed it. All right. It was saying that Scott Kalal, who is a lap down, was actually in the lead. So, gotta love technology.
Yeah, I was a little confused because my standings were showing a little something different there. But, yeah, Daniel Bowdler with the lead right now. He wasn't really in contention for the win before pit cycle started, so I think he's going to be one of those cars that stretches it out. And he's really good on old tires, and there's nothing to lose for him in this series as he runs full-time in the Xfinity Series. He's just here for the money, so he's going to try and get that money this week and that 7th win. But Jake Rowell right there, he's going to be fighting to get his lap back.
Yep, Jake Rowell on fresh tires. Here we go. So he is going to catch up to Daniel Bowdler. As Daniel Bowdler goes into the pits, Jake's going to go right by. Now, he still has 3 or 4 guys in front of him that are still out there and still not pitted. But Jake Rowell right now with about a 2-second lead over who will eventually be in second place, Mitch Rollo.
Yeah, Chris Massey also coming down with Daniel Bowdler, having a really good race. So surprised to not see them stretch it as far as they could. Curious to know what the fuel run is here, but they were only on about 32 lap old tires, but definitely cutting that run in half. Good to see a green flag pit stop here.
Yeah, it looks like James Holzer pitting right now. So Jordan Bain is actually going to take the lead, and he's going to get a bonus point out of this.
Yeah, he's done this each week, getting his bonus points. Not really in contention to make the playoffs, but nonetheless, he is wanting to get the points for his team, and he's doing it.
Well, right behind him, Brandon Browning, actually not right behind him, about 13 seconds behind him. Brandon Browning has not pitted yet either, so if Jordan Bain comes in, then Brandon might have a shot at getting a bonus point.
Yeah, with how we've seen how loose these cars are on cold tires, it's very, we could definitely see something happen, but Jordan Bain.
No, he's going to slide.
Ooh, wow, he's going to get it.
He's going to miss the cone.
Man.
He is going to get a penalty for that.
I'm not even sure. Will it register as pit stop?
Yeah, it'll register it, but he's going to get an unsafe entry penalty for that. So that is going to destroy Jordan Bain's hopes there.
Yeah, really unfortunate to see.
And Brandon Browning will come around, take the lead, and get that bonus point. But Jake Rowell only 9 seconds behind Brandon Browning, and Jake is on fresh tires. So we're about to see how fast Jake Rowell will catch up.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Browning ran a 32.92 that last lap. Jake Rowell ran a 30.38 that last lap. So he's 2.5 seconds faster each lap. He is going to run him down in no time.
Yeah, you can see here the lap differences. So Jake Rowell, 2.7 seconds faster pretty much each lap since he pitted. So it is going to take no time at all to catch up to Brandon Browning.
A little shakeup after pit stops, though. Gabriel Ellison coming out in front of Damian Leiniger for that second place position after these last couple of cars do make their pit stops.
Oh, Brandon Browning into the wall.
Oh, man. Unfortunate, man, to see that Zaxby's Purple 48 just taking a spin off of 2, what it looked like. That's that spot, that danger zone on this Atlanta Motor Speedway where it won't register a caution because you're off of the racing surface.
And so now Jake Rowell has a 3-second lead over second place Gabriel Ellison. So unless something happens here, Jake Rowell is just going to run away with this thing.
Yeah, he's having a great season so far, and he's coming to life right before our eyes and just dominating week after week. So not surprised to see Jake here running out front, but if we get another caution, that's going to totally change everything here.
Man, so Jake Rowell, I mean, just picking off cars left and right here.
Yeah, Jake, one of the fastest cars on track. Those top 3 cars are the fastest cars on track. So, but with that gap, it's going to be really hard for these guys to run him down in 20 laps.
So let's step back a little bit on the track, get some better racing here. So James Holzer catching up to Joshua Balliet. He is going to make that pass. And now he is going to work on, I believe that's the 17 of Danny Setzer, but Danny's a few laps down. So James Holzer up in 12th position as he is trying to work his way back into the top 10.
Yeah, he's moving right now. He's got the line figured out. He is making progress on these cars ahead of him. He's going to have Max Service, that red and black car, in the 81 machine just ahead of him. We'll probably see him come into the picture here shortly. Yep. He's getting big runs off these turns. He knows that it's time to melt these tires to the ground. With only 30 to go on them, there's no saving anymore, especially with where he's at. He's got to pick up these positions right now. See the 5 car, Timothy Latham. That's not going to be an easy pass. Kyle Spees, but wow, big move to the inside here.
See who that is. That's James Holzer making that huge move.
Yep. He's making a look on Josh Siegfried right here. He's going to get real
tight. He's going to get sideways.
Oh, no.
Josh Siegfried into the wall. And he's going to get down into the grass, still under green.
Man.
But that's going to ruin Joshua Siegfried's race.
Man, he was having such a good race. I know that's going to really hurt him. He was hoping to have a good run tonight. He's having a really fun time running with these Cup guys. But probably a lot to learn from tonight and running with these veterans of our series. So, you know, you got to take the glass half full when you can. And I know that's not what he wants to hear, but man, just unlucky there.
Damian Leiniger in 3rd place here, trying to track down Gabriel Ellison. And Gabriel, ever since he joined Filthy 5 Motorsports, man, he has just given them a big lift.
Oh, he's had a great run all season. What a perfect pickup for Filthy 5 Motorsports. Not exactly sure. Did he come off a Team SRN?
No, he H2K.
Yeah, so great pickup from H2K to go to Filthy 5 and really round out that team with some incredible talent and make that push to the top of the team standings. And he's definitely he's pulling the haul for him tonight as he's up in 2nd. But Damian Leiniger, one of those cars that we mentioned, who just had one of the worst lucks this season, having a really good run so far.
Yeah, and Damian actually had a little bit of fun with me in the Discord when I posted last week's standings, and he was down there just below the cut, if I remember correctly, and he gave me a thumbs down, and he told me not to post any more standings, but he'll be pleased to see these after this week, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be asking you to post the standings this week if it keeps up with his 3rd place position here. I know he wants 2nd place, but still, just to come away with the top 3 will be a huge confidence boost for him.
But Jake Rowell, 3.15 seconds out in front, and 14 laps to go. So as long as he just keeps it clean here, I don't think he's going to have any trouble at all finishing this thing off and getting the lead back again for all-time Speed Racing Network wins.
Yeah, I can't really find where Daniel Balba is on track right now. I'm not sure what happened to him.
He is all the way back down. Actually, he's in the pits, all the way back down in 25th. He must have gotten some damage somewhere along the way.
Wow, that's really surprising. He was running up to the front in 1st place during the cycle of green flag pit stops, so not sure exactly what happened to him. We'll have to get in touch with him after the race, see exactly what the case was there, but some tight racing right here between Max Service and Mitch Rollo. Max Service having a really good run. You know, we love the name, but we're loving the car and his push to the front right now, having a really good top 10 night.
Yeah, and Joseph Causey, even after that incident a little bit earlier in the race, up in 13th position, so still not a bad race for him, although he had the lead at the time of that incident, so he's going to be disappointed in this regardless, but still a top 15 finish right now on the horizon, I believe.
Yeah, it's such a hard, thing to start out in a new league which is a very established league. So you don't want to cause any like trouble on track. So I think the main takeaway for tonight is that he's had a really good run. He made the push to the front and got some good TV time, and people are going to know the name going down the road, for the rest of the season. This dude's here to play. He's still running with Timothy Latham back here. Granted, they both have damaged cars, but a really good run tonight by Joseph Causey and the whole Tank Racing team that we're seeing for the first time this year in SRN's Cup Series.
Yeah, I mean, what a great start to the season for him. Now, of course, he's not going to be eligible for the actual playoffs. However, big news this week, we will have a second-tier playoff sponsored by Flavor Bomb Seasonings. So second-tier playoff for those drivers that don't qualify for the top 15, they will qualify for that second-tier playoffs where we can still win some money.
Yeah, I love that SRN gives us drivers, because I feel like I'm going to be in that boat, but, they give everybody a chance to really fight for something, and that gets the drivers to show up each week and bring their best. And it's really awesome that Flavor Bomb comes on board to offer those prizes and incentives for those drivers. And we're going to be really focusing on the main championship at hand, but at the same time we're going to have a whole nother championship taking place on track, so we got a bunch of races to look forward to with a lot of storylines unfolding each week.
Now, up front, we got Scott Healy here working on Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor from our Xfinity Series started off the season with 2 wins and really hasn't done a ton since then. I mean, he's had some good finishes, but he's starting to drop down the standings a little bit there, but he is putting on a show up here in the Cup Series.
Yeah, we didn't see him in the Xfinity race on Thursday, so it's good to see him running in the Cup race tonight, and a very quiet night for him. We really haven't talked about him much, but the car is clean, and he's running the top 5, but really under attack from the 64 machine right now, because he knows Holzer right behind him in the 42 car is coming, and he wants these 3 spots in front of him.
Yeah, I think I was told that Zach Taylor was actually racing at Bristol.
Oh, wow.
So
really
cool. I think, he was at Bristol. I'm not sure if he was racing there or not.
Wow, that'd be really cool, man. I'm jealous now. I would miss the race too, no problem.
But Scott Healy takes that position away. But look at James Holzer there in 7th, trying to work his way back up into that top 5.
Yeah, he's trying to shut the door on Zach Taylor there, but Zach not letting it happen. He's going to have a look to the outside, and it's going to hold Scott Healy up a little bit here. Zach's going to still be there. Oh, he's going to take a look on the inside. Not sure if he got loose there or was taking a look. It kind of looked like a little bit of both.
Look at the view from Holzer's camera here inside of his car. And I got to tell you right now, there's 3 cars in the top 5 for Royal Smith Racing. And so TKT Racing out there in the chat predicted 3 RSR cars in the top 10. That guy is a genius right now.
Yeah, I'm going to have him pick my lottery numbers too, so go ahead and throw them out there in the chat, and I'll go ahead and put them down on some paper, since you seem to be know what you're talking about here. But man, we come to expect that every week. All those guys are in the top 15 in points for a reason. We see them running up to the front each week, so not a surprise here.
Jake Roel just bringing it around 5 more times. He's got a 3.5-second lead on Gabriel Ellison. Big points night for Gabriel Ellison, and that's just going to solidify his spot in the championship standings. Damian Leiniger needs these points badly in order to bring him up into those championship standings also. So big race for him. Dean Brummett, Scott Healy, a couple of good drives for them. Shane Good back here in 14th. He was the one that's on the cut line. That 14th position, that should give him a little bit of breathing room, possibly. So because Landon Lacey, who was on the other side of that cut line, is off the track.
Yeah, not going to really hurt his night, but not going to help him too much either, finishing there 14th. But really, that's what you got to do. You got to bring these cars home in one piece, and you'll get that finishing position that you're looking for. But Jake Roel, he's 3 laps away from his league-leading 4th win on the season, 7th win of his career in SRN. And, I mean, he's dominated tonight. He's led 360 laps on the season coming into this week, and he's probably put another 100 together out here tonight.
Yeah, and he is definitely going to be talking about his 7th win in Speed Racing Network history. the next time that he is on a broadcast, which he'll be broadcasting Bristol with us this week. So he's really super excited about that. He loves Bristol, as well as his co-broadcaster, Dean Brummett, who's sitting back here in fourth. So going to have a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, and we keep mentioning the two teams at the top. I have to imagine Filthy 5 Motorsports is really going to be excited to head to Bristol and play in the dirt as well. I'm sorry, we're not going to dirt. I keep forgetting that. But still, nonetheless, these guys are going to bring it next week as well. They didn't have the best race tonight with Landon Lacey getting caught up in that first incident. But right now, I mean, Jake's going to come to the white flag before hopefully any caution comes out. And this race is all but done for him.
Yeah, Jake Rowell just really going to town on this racetrack. It's not going to be as big of a lead as Daniel Bowler had during the Xfinity Series, which I believe was 7.6 seconds. But 4-second lead in here in the Cup Series in a fixed Cup race. So this is a fixed setup. So everybody has the same exact car, and he is just putting it to work.
Yeah, the league better take notice. Otherwise, Jake's going to start to run away with this thing. They better start hitting the practice sessions a little harder and figuring out what he's doing to save. But he's going to bring it to the stripe, and Jake Rowell is going to be the winner of the Hotlanta 200 here tonight.
Yeah, Gabriel Ellison's going to cross the line in second. Damian Leininger crossing the line in third. Dean Brummett, Scott Healy coming in fourth and fifth. So great runs all around and really a good long green flag run there at the end of the race.
And 3 RSR cars, not only in the top 10, but in the top 5. So great run for them tonight. They're going to probably put a little bit of distance in between them and Filthy 5, which hasn't been the case the last couple of weeks with them really gaining some ground on them. So really what RSR needed to put together tonight.
Yeah, we are going to watch Jake Rowell bring it right back to the start-finish line and burn it down. And I'm sure we'll have all of Royal Smith Racing out there burning it down together, as is their tradition.
Yeah, he's getting pretty good at these burnouts, isn't he? He's nice and warmed up on the season. And like I said, he is not letting up one bit. He has dominated week in and week out the last couple of weeks. Now, 6 out of the last 7 weeks, he's been in the top 5, with 4 of those being wins.
Man, great burnout there, and you can see his entire team coming up right behind to join in on it.
Yeah, it's a good run on the night for all of them. You know, each one of them finishing within the top 20, I do believe, with Shane Good and Jacob Smith finishing. You know, Jacob was in 16th, Shane Good 14th. So still not a bad finishing position for them. You know, Jacob's not going to get counted towards the points, but, you know, 4 cars in the top 14 is, you know, nothing to be sad about at all.
Well, let's go over the finish position because Jake blew his engine out there on that burnout. So Jake Rowell in first for Royal Smith Racing, Gabriel Ellison in second for Filthy 5 Motorsports, Damian Leininger in third for Rev Racing, then Dean Brummett and Scott Healy, both from Royal Smith Racing, coming in fourth and fifth respectively.
Yeah, James Holzer, who we said needed to get a good finish after his 19th place finish last week, is going to be sixth for Team SRN. Zachary Taylor, our first independent up from the Xfinity Series, going to finish 7th in that 14 machine. Max Service in his first race in SRN for Tank Racing, going to be 8th. Great run for him tonight. Mitch Rollo in the 96 R&D Motorsports machine coming in 9th. And Kyle Spees in Filthy 5 Motorsports, another top 10. That's, I believe, 3 in a row for him now.
Yeah, number 11th place Joshua Balliet for Tank Racing, 12th Joseph Causey for Tank Racing, who had the lead there for a brief moment. And then Timothy Latham in 13th for Filthy 5, Shane Good for Royal Smith Racing in 14th. So that is 4 in the top 15 for Royal Smith Racing. Then Ted Rekich in 15th for Team SRN.
Yeah, and the last RSR car finishing 16th there, Jacob Smith. Not the night he wanted. But still finishing on the lead lap and having a good run overall. Scott Kalal is going to be the last car on the lead lap in that 23 SRN machine, finishing in 17th. Jordan Bain, we saw him have trouble on pit road. Still able to come home with an 18th place finish, but really not the night I know he wanted since he was running in the top 10 when that happened. Thomas Rutherford in the 4 R&D Motorsports machine finishing 2 laps down in 19th, and then Austin Reedy, another car we saw running up towards the front at the beginning of the race, is going to be in 20th for Bronco Motorsports.
Man, a really great run overall by everybody out there. But let's see if we can't get some interviews with a couple of these guys. And we'll start off with Damian Leininger, who I am definitely going to take him to task for getting on to me about putting up the standings, because he's going to love the standings this week. Hey, Damian, this is Sean and Greg up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Well, it's going a lot better this week than it did the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's what we were just kind of joking about, is that you were kind of chiding me a little bit on those standings, but I think you're going to kind of like what you see this time around.
This is a big boost, especially getting ready for 3 short tracks. I mean, short tracks are my game. I mean, I love short tracks so much, and was kind of bummed out with how Phoenix went, got damaged early on and just destroyed. So I was looking forward to just the short tracks, and I was like, if I can just get out of Atlanta with a top 10 even, I'd be happy. So finishing third and great battles with Jake and Gabriel along the way, it feels amazing.
Well, Damian, you mentioned you've had a little bit of trouble this season and kind of not had the finishes that you wanted. Go ahead and tell everybody how hard it is to just get out of that slump and how good it feels to do that at the same time.
It's terrible. I mean, it's not just, the bad luck isn't just in this league either. It's in all my leagues that I've been dealing with. I mean, second half of 2020 and then the beginning of 2021, it seems like I can never get a race where I don't get wrecked or get some sort of damage or something. And, I even got in a couple incidents today that just kind of happened to be able to save them and just minimal damage. But when it's going bad, it's going bad. And you try and look for any light to get out. And, fortunately tonight was a night that maybe I can see to break through.
Well, man, you did a great job up there, and you were up there kind of in that top 5 the entire time. But, I mean, a lot of people had struggles out there on the track tonight. What did you see on the track that was so different from what everybody else saw?
I don't know if it was anything that I saw different. It's just that I try to really utilize the bottom lane as much as I could, let off early and let it get back to it pretty soon, and try and use that as much as I could while everybody tried to go up to the top. And I don't know if it helped me save tires a little bit better. I know those past couple runs I kind of burned them up a little bit more, but I think on those first couple runs and working my way up from 11th up into the top 5, just kind of letting off early, getting down to the bottom and getting the run off for the first 10 laps even, while everybody was trying to run around the outside. I think it kind of helped out a little bit, and then as the run progressed on, you'd get tighter, but those guys that were up top were just burning the tires off so much more. So those 10 laps just helped out.
Yeah, well, you definitely seemed in command tonight. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank?
Got to thank all the Rev guys for sticking with me during this tough season so far, and thank Sean and you guys for putting on this broadcast, Trip for putting on this league. I wouldn't be in this league if it wasn't for Brandon Key. He really recruited me into this. I didn't really want to do a Sunday night league, and he's like, "Man, come on, you'll be a competitor here." So thank him, thank Adam. I've raced with him in Erska before, and giving me a spot on this team, and just everyone that puts this deal on. It's out of the bad luck, we've still had a lot of great racing and get frustration at times, but tonight's a night that makes it all worth it.
Well, man, great job out there tonight, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the booth for Bristol, man. It's going to be a good finale or a good final stretch to the playoffs.
Yeah, looking forward to it. 3 short tracks, the name of the game for me.
All right, buddy. Well, have a great night. We'll drop him back down there in his chat, and let's see if we can't get the newest member from Filthy 5 Motorsports up here in the booth with us. Hey, Gabriel, this is Sean and Greg up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Great run out there. You were up towards the front pretty much the entire race, and you've really kind of set yourself apart, and now you've joined Filthy 5 Motorsports, giving them a big boost. Tell us what it's like to be up front, a lot of the times, and to see your name up there towards the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's definitely nice. I just do my best to stay out of wrecks and be pretty consistent. I don't always have necessarily the speed to win a race, but I just try to put myself in the right spot and avoid damage more than anything, especially in these cars. Any bit of damage, you're off the pace. So I do my best there.
Well, Gabriel, you're one of, if not the only driver on the season to not finish outside the top 10 now, and you just joined one of the best teams in the series. What is joining Filthy Five Motorsports bringing to your, experience out there on the track? Is it giving you that extra push to finish even further up and bring home those season points for the team, or how are they helping you out?
Yeah, man, it's great. You got Timothy Latham. He's always right up front. So I get advice from him on hot laps, things like that. Then me and Speece right there, we were running together, helping each other out. He got caught up in an accident, but just stuff like that. And then Brandon Browning, all of us, and Lacey too. He got in a wreck also, but they've all been super helpful to me so far, and just look forward to keep racing with them.
The team is up in second in points, and now you guys are trying to track down Royal Smith Racing. You see them do, a 3 out of the top 5 deal here tonight. What can you guys do as a team coming into the short tracks to try to close this gap a little bit?
Short tracks, there's going to be a lot of people wrecking, a lot of damage. So I think if we can keep our noses clean, then we have the pace to run up front, But these guys clearly tonight, they kept it pretty clean, and Jake rode off into the sunset there. So we just gotta short tracks, keep damage to a minimum, keep some track position, and just go from there.
Oh,
man. Awesome.
Go ahead, Greg.
I was going to say, man, it's awesome to see you doing so well on the season. You're one of the newer names in Speed Racing Network, so we love having you here and putting on a great show. But before we let you go, is there anybody that you wanted to go ahead and thank?
Yeah, man, a huge thanks to Zaxby's out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina, for sponsoring Filthy Five. If you're out that way, definitely go check that out. And then huge thanks to Brandon Browning and for bringing me on over at Filthy Five. I really appreciate it. And then thanks to everybody at SRN for putting this league on, putting this broadcast on. It's great.
Well, man, we will see you next week at Bristol Motorsport. Bristol, that place. We're going there. We're going to have a great time with it, man. So we'll see you next week, and hopefully we will see you up here in the booth again.
I appreciate it. That's my home track. I live about 30 minutes from it, so hopefully I can hold it down.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Nice.
All right, we'll see you.
Thanks.
All right, well, let's get Jake Roel up here in the booth.
I think we're going to be hearing about something here.
Yeah, I think we're about to figure out who is the all-time leader in wins in Speed Racing Network history. Jake Roel, Sean, and Greg up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Beautiful down here in Victory Lane, back to back. Gotta love it. Team's all freaking amped up. Heck of a race. Did Atlanta Motor Speedway, a little job there, mowing the lawn. Still parking in Victory Lane.
Yeah, that was an incredible save you made there earlier in the race. Tell us kind of what happened there.
Yeah, I just went to the inside of Holter on that restart. I was digging a little too hard and almost digged our own grave there early on in the race. And thankfully he checked up to give me a little bit of space to save it in front of him. And then I just went through the grass. And at that point, man, it was like trophy trucking through the infield of Atlanta Motor Speedway, trying to save it. And making sure I was not going to come up and hit anyone. So my heart definitely skipped a few beats, especially with how good we were running, to get taken out by something like that. But here we are.
Yeah, man, I can imagine. We took the in-car cam and we saw just how crazy that was, but a great save nonetheless. But you got back-to-back wins now, Jake, on the season, and 4 altogether. And you've led 260 laps in the last 2 races alone. What's going on here? You're really starting to take off and set yourself apart from everybody in this series. Should everybody take note?
I mean, they should have. It started back at Darlington. Things happened there. And it's just been every single race after that point. I mean, last season in Mid-South Madness, man, I won these 2 races there, and I despised the Xfinity car winning Phoenix and Atlanta last season. So it's just, I don't know. Where we're going is where I like right now. I will say I'm going to shoot my shot for Dean Brummett. He'll definitely, unless something crazy happens, I think Dean's got Bristol on lock. But yeah, it's just, I love the Cup cars, and you put them on tracks that I like. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Well, man, we're coming into the short track season here. Three more weeks, and you've pretty much solidified your way into the playoffs. But tell me about the rest of your team. You got all 5 of Royal Smith Racing currently in the playoffs coming into this race. Pretty sure it's going to stay the same way coming out of this race. What do you have to do to get all 5 of you to finish off the job after week 13?
Yeah, it's just with the short tracks coming up of Bristol, Martinsville, and Richmond, it's just making sure we log enough laps, get that practice in. I think it'd be huge to get all 5 guys in the playoffs. I mean, that's 33% of the field right there for the playoffs. So it's just picking up the slack, making sure guys get faster throughout the week in practice. I mean, it's what we do every single week, so wouldn't expect anything else. And I mean, for myself, it's, I guess, whether I'm locked in or whatever, I can just relax and try to help them out even more. That way I'm not, per se, focusing so much on me at this point, really helping to get Shane Good in the playoffs. I know coming into tonight, he was on the bubble, and just Jacob, Scott, and Dean, just trying to get them to where I'm at, stronger into the playoffs. So right now, I mean, it's just getting all 5 of our cars in the playoffs.
Man, you guys are all over it, and you just had a heck of a race tonight. We're going to have to go back and look at the stats and see exactly where that was ranked as far as the best finishes, as far as leading the race. So we're going to have to go back and check that out. But for now, you are the all-time winningest driver in Speed Racing Network history. How does it feel?
I mean, it's awesome. Bowdler thought he tied me, and here we are Sunday night, and it's back to where it was going into Thursday night. It's all love between Bowdler and I. Love the guy to death. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. It's just the one thing I'd rather have is the championship. You could be, a Kyle Busch back in 2008 or whatever, win the most amount of races in a season and not be able to come home with the championship. And that's not what it's all about. It's like the Patriots in 2007. There's no point in going undefeated without coming home with the ring. So that's what we're striving for from all 5 of us. And that's like the thing, I guess, too, looking at it as the team owner of Royal Smith Racing. Like, if something sour happens to me in the playoffs, there's still 4 other chances with all 5 of if we get all 5 into the playoffs. So it's just good things are on the horizon. I really want to get one of our other guys in victory lane. I feel bad having to be the only one doing it, but I mean, sometimes I guess that's how it is. So,
well, man,
you
go ahead.
You mentioned, though, before we let you go, you want that championship. How does this current, momentum that you have, how's that going to carry you as we're only 3 weeks away before we get to the playoffs and everything kind of resets itself? How does this get you set up and ready to go for that stretch?
I think it's good. I mean, winning. I mean, we won on fuel strategy at Homestead. Phoenix was a short track. There's none of those in the playoffs, but still, nonetheless. And then being able to win at Daytona Road Course. I mean, with Coda in our playoffs, I mean, that's a strong point for our whole team. I mean, we ran really, really well there collectively as a team. And then be able to have finally seal the deal on a 1.5 miles. I feel like I've been really, really fast every single 1.5 mile race, and just whether my own doing or getting caught up in an accident, just taking my chances out to win a 1.5 miles. So, and I mean, super speedways are super speedways. I know we go to Dega, but that's like walking into a casino and putting a number down or putting a bet down at a roulette table. So, but yeah, it's just being able to win on, every single type of track we've gone to so far. It's just, I don't know. I feel very, very confident, and to be able to look down at the standings and see 3 of us in the top 5, it just pays dividends to how much work we're putting in as a team.
All right, man. Well, great job tonight. Do you have anybody that you'd like to thank before we let you go here tonight?
Absolutely. There's my entire team, Jacob Smith, Dean Brummett, Shane Good, Scott Healy, our Xfinity guys that we just brought on a week ago. Behind the Sky, Brian Smith does a heck of a job spotting, walking me through coming back up onto the track after I cut the lawn here tonight. I know my dad's watching back home, so what's up, Dad? Glad to have you in victory lane with us. So, and of course, the official drink of Royal Smith Racing is Diet Mountain Dew. So we love those Dew Mountains.
Well, great job, buddy. Hey, congratulations once again. We're going to get you back down there with your team so you can celebrate even more, and we will see you next week at Bristol.
Appreciate it, and always thankful for what you guys do, as well as Jason Tripp as the admin for the league. So Awesome job every single week.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good one.
Thanks, boys.
All right. Well, let's talk about next week a little bit because, next Cup Series, we're at Rocky Top. We are at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Rocky Top 200. And just like they were kind of alluding to on short tracks, man, there's going to be some wrecking going on.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good clean racing here at Atlanta this week. 9 total cautions amongst the 3 series total. I have to imagine we're going to top that in the truck series alone. We have a lot of excited guys to go to short tracks, but we also have a lot of guys that are not excited for short tracks as well.
Yeah, and then our very next broadcast will actually be right there at Bristol. Actually, it says Atlanta Motor Speedway. That is inaccurate. It is Bristol Motor Speedway that we are going to. We're done with Atlanta for this season, but we are going to the Rocky Top 125 on Wednesday. Yeah, that's actually incorrect too. Man,
everything's wrong about
everything
this slide.
is wrong about this slide. So tell you what, we're going to go ahead and sign off with that. So for myself, Sean Griffith, and Greg Olenik, everybody here at Speed Racing Network, just remember to go faster.